The only way I was able to get around it is I had to start visualizing the worst case scenario.
I pull it out and I feel that weight in my hand and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm bringing it down. I'm like, I'm just going to pause it on my chest and I'm going to make him take it. Like, I'm saying that to myself.
Oh, I know.
And then all of a sudden I start pushing it and it's going up. Oh shit, I got this.
Oh yeah.
And like, that's just, it just helps you mentally so much because you've already hit that weight. You're like, oh, I've already hit this. I can do this again.
I don't want to hit your head, but like, how are you going to train when you can't train to get a bigger bench? Time to sit down, keep it real, and cut the bullshit. Welcome to Table Talk. My guest today is Tom Huck Finn. There's a lot of bio here that I think that people miss, right? Because you're known for stunts and stuff like that, but there's like 10 years of powerlifting experience.
Oh yeah.
Where
you just reached one crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah, which you've been waiting to say.
Yes.
But anyhow, the best total of 2028 at 220. And there's, again, when I went and looked it up, I knew what your lifts were, I know the 500, you've benched 500 pounds raw, you've benched it in the back of a truck with it on fire, You've benched it with a beer bong, you've benched it in the fucking cold outside, right?
Yeah. I benched it in a courtyard with CT Fletcher. I benched it on fire, beer bongs. I benched it on a platform several times. I don't even know. I benched it.
You've benched it a lot of
I benched it going through. Oh, no, that was 500 pounds. That was like 225. When I benched it going through a Taco Bell drive-through, but that was only 225 for reps. And I ordered a number 4 with a Baja Blast.
So you benched it in one way or another for about a decade.
Correct.
Which is the longevity. So we'll talk a little bit about training. We'll talk a little bit about stunts. We're going to talk a little bit about, obviously, beer, because that's what you're into.
Oh, yeah.
I don't drink beer because I hate the taste of it. So I'm going to have you try to sell me on why I should drink beer, which would be an interesting thing. And there's a background in football.
Yep.
There's a background of cutting your fingers off. There's all these other things. So
both pec tendons off.
Yeah, both pec tendons. So as I was going through some of the past podcasts, you get asked the same things over and over and over. So some of those things we're going to talk about, but I'm going to go a little bit different direction on them because you're probably sick of being asked the same things over and over and over.
Right.
It kind of gets repetitive and boring.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to skip through the whole football era.
Okay.
Right. So same story as what most of meatheads have. Like, we're not the most studious people, so then we kind of like fine training, but we do pretty well in sports, and that gets you to a certain point. But I do have a question with the football, which is something that's interesting to me, is how people fall into powerlifting and individual sports. Is most fall into it because they're just trying to find their place where they fit, because we're all fucking oddballs to a certain degree. Football is a little different, right? Because you got to work in this team environment. So you could be the person that's working harder than everybody else, but feel like you're getting shortchanged because nobody else is working as hard. So you're like, screw that. I'd rather just wrestle or do powerlifting. What was your experience with that, with the football side? Did you ever feel like you fit as much as what you feel like if you fit in, say, powerlifting?
Oh, football. I mean, I fit in perfectly. I love football. Just hurting other people was what I liked. So every time I had a chance to hurt somebody, I mean, I didn't give a fuck if we're losing, we're winning, whatever. I just wanted to hit somebody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I went through my senior year, probably 3 or 4 football helmets. I popped them, So I led with my head all the time.
What position you play?
Outside linebacker and fullback. I played both ways. And
so
was captain.
You liked outside linebacker
Loved
more,
it.
I guess.
Loved it. And when I was running the ball, I would look for contact. I wouldn't look, to find a hole. I looked for contact. That's what my coach said. It was just dumb. I'd look for contact. That's what he told my dad, Pappy. He said he always looked for contact. He can just run, find out there's a hole there, but he went and looked for contact.
Yeah.
So I just loved to hit people. And now that was everything,
Through high school, I played defensive end for a while, and that was before it was a drop back. But at least on the team I was, it wasn't a drop back position. It was contained. And the thing that I fucking love more than anything else is, yes, you like the sack, but what I liked more than the sack was like right after the quarterback released, wham!
Yes.
Like fucking knock their helmet
I
off
know
and shit, which you can't do
it's the
anymore.
best. Yeah, I know. You can't do anything anymore.
You can't. But that was like the best fucking thing.
Oh, that, and I love crackbacks too. Like when they'd flank you out and you come back and the defense ends looking the other way and then he turns around because the ball's getting pitched to the right and I'm coming in as hard as I can, man, fucking, right into his head. I love that, but that's illegal now too.
Yeah, like
the guy's not looking and then you hit him like as fast as you can.
Like all the fun shit.
Oh God, it was so good. Or somebody, a running back or receiver coming across the middle and he doesn't see and you see, man. Those are the best hits ever.
Yeah.
And that's all gone now. Because I guess of concussions. I don't know. I mean, I've been hit in the head so many times. I had numerous concussions when I played. They weren't like diagnosed. I wouldn't know where I was at. And fucking helmet would be, I'd look out my ear hole because the helmet would be popped. I'd play a whole half like that. And I'd say, hey, coach, my helmet's popped. And it's just wiggling around. I could almost look out my ear hole.
Yeah.
And they would switch helmets out, get back in. It's no big deal. And you black out all the time every time I lay with my head because it was a harder hit.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, you could hear that pop in the stands. That was the big ooze when you hit him with your helmet. So, yeah, that was all legal then, 2000 or everything. That's all gone now.
Yeah.
They ruined football.
Yeah, I was earlier than that. So I was in the, 85. And the first game I played it's like a freshman starting as a senior, whatever it was. Like yourself, I got strong fast, right? Yeah. So it was kind of fucking awesome.
Oh, it's the best. I know. You're like you're stronger than the seniors. That's how I was when I was a sophomore.
Fucking killing people.
Yeah.
And the first game I played, I got hit so many fucking times because it's a different level. Your skill isn't there, but you're strong.
Right.
So you're just getting all fucked up. And my parents are taking me home, and I'm sitting in the back seat. I'm laying in the back seat, and I'm like shaking and shit. I'm like, I don't know why the fuck I'm shaking. And I'm like, this can't be a good thing.
Yeah.
And my fucking mom and dad, they go into a party for 2 hours. They just leave me in the back of the fucking car.
Yeah, here's a bag of chips.
And I'm like, and my dad's like, nah, man, it's just, what did he call that? It was,
just get your egg scrambled or something.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah. It's like, whatever it was, just normal. It's just a normal deal.
Normal.
I'm like, fuck it, all right. Yeah. It never happened again.
Right.
It was different time with that.
Oh, yeah, the coaches would always send you back in. They didn't give a shit,
Yeah.
Because you had to prove you're tough.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ever laid on the ground for anything, my leg had to have been ripped off my body for me to lay on the ground. I didn't want to show weakness and never show weakness. Yeah. My old man, he would have killed me if I laid on that ground and I wasn't hurt, when my legs wasn't broken. Man, you better call out that fucking field. Because I'm not showing weakness to the other team. Fuck those guys.
Well, it wasn't for me. It wasn't just my dad. It was the fucking coaches too.
I'm scared of the coaches as well.
In the stands and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, give your bell rung.
I
got my bell rung. I got my bell rung. I'm like, yeah, it's still fucking ringing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's ringing until the next day.
Yeah, and it's like fuck it. You go back, and maybe that's why I'm so fucked up now from all this stuff in powerlifting and everything, and our heads are fucked up too. With your finger was kind of a part of all this because you fucking tore your
this one cut off.
That one
right.
That looks like it's got a condom on it, dude.
It does. See, it's got that nail.
That's a nail?
That's a nail right there. So it doesn't.
That's a condom.
No, that's a nail. That's.
Cut it.
I can't. It's like a horseshoe if I have to grind it down. Usually I get drunk and it'll get caught on something and flick off.
Yeah.
And then it'll be gone, and then the nail will grow back all the way. It'll curl up over the finger,
That looks like a condom. You got a fucking dick finger.
Yeah, I got a dick for a finger and a finger for a dick. And double overhand deadlifts, a lot of times when I drop it, it would hit that nail and it'd fly off, so I'd lose it that way a lot. But, I cut that off in college, and they reattached it, right?
Yeah.
And then I went home, and it turned black, so I thought it had gangrene.
Show that to the camera, if you can. Yeah. It's a condom, I'm telling you. All right. Anyhow, go ahead. So you turn green.
So it's like black, and I'm like, I think I got gangrene. So I go to the emergency room, and they're going to cut my finger off and stuff. They think, I had gangrene. I guess I don't know. And a specialist came in. He looked at it, said, no, it's just not circulating properly. It'll be fine. Give it a couple days. So I give it a couple days. It's not getting any better. But I didn't go back to the doctor. So about two months down the road, it started getting hard. The tip was because it got cut off down to the knuckle. Mm-hmm. So part of it grew back and part of it didn't. So the other part got hard and black, kept getting harder and blacker. And then I hit it on a lat pull-down machine. I don't know, for some reason I was doing a one-arm lat pull-down machine, and I had my hand on the bar, and the stack went up. I hit that finger, shot 20 feet across the room, and it started bleeding everywhere. I picked that finger up, put it in my pocket, and I finished my workout. And that was at my hometown gym. Yeah. And I took it home, and I gave it to my dad, and he put it in a shot glass. And he put it where all my trophies are from high school and stuff out, we call it the dungeon where I used to train at over there. And it's still there to this day.
See, that's the question I had. It wasn't about the finger. The question I want to get to is why do you still have it? today.
So
and
we-
like you drink to it and
Yes.
shit.
So we drink every Thanksgiving. My dad brings it over, or we go over there, right? And we drink a shot of wild turkey out of every year. And last year, my dad almost swallowed it. It got caught in his throat. He coughed it up. And
No,
and we got
wait.
back.
You put the fucking it's in the glass that you're shooting.
Yes. Yeah, so we shoot with the wild turkey. The finger's in the wild turkey every Thanksgiving, and we take a shot of it. Because Thanksgiving was about the time when I cut it off. So, and we've been doing that. I mean, that's been now.
That's
20
still-
years.
All you're doing right now is all you're doing is telling me the process, but you still haven't said why.
Oh, why? I don't know why. I absolutely don't know why. I think one day we were drinking, and I said,
Well, you kept it for a fucking reason.
we kept it for a souvenir.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a souvenir. It's my finger,
Yeah.
And it's still, it looks the same. It's all black and rotted, and it's like the tip. It looks funny, and it's sitting in a shot glass.
So that following Thanksgiving, you're just like, hey, we ought to just,
Because it was in a shot glass to begin with.
yeah, we ought to put the shit in the finger.
Let's put it to use.
Yeah, and then drink the finger.
Yeah.
And it's a shot.
Yeah.
So how are you not swallowing the finger for how many years now?
Well, you have like your teeth block it, you know what I mean?
Not when you take a shot.
Well, you can't. Like my dad threw it down. That's when it got caught in his throat. He caught it back up.
So you're sipping the finger.
Yeah, kind of sipping the finger, I would say. It's not as fast as like a typical shot, but it's
So it's a finger shot.
a finger shot.
All right, so it's a different thing. See, this is what I wasn't understanding when
it's a
I'm
finger shot.
When I listen, I think of things differently, right? So I'm hearing these stories. I'm like, how you not swallowing the finger, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
You know, and or I'm thinking drinking to the finger, like here's the finger on this little altar.
Oh, no, yeah, here's to the finger.
Oh, cheers to the finger. I'm like,
cheers to
that's
the lost
fucking
finger.
Stupid.
No,
man.
no, we take a shot with the finger in it.
No, that makes kind of a little bit more sense.
Right, yeah.
Not really.
I should have brought the finger to the shot. We could have a shot with it.
Yeah.
Maybe
but
next time
no.
I show up.
So it's a finger shot. It's a finger shot. So
Yeah.
you can create a new thing.
A finger shot.
Yeah, the finger shot.
Everybody wants a shot of the finger.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
All right. So now, didn't you fuck up the other one too?
Yeah, so I was deadlifting. I wanted to attempt a 500-pound deadlift on a Stairmaster for these guys. This firefighters wanted me to do a video for them for like 9/11 or something. So I was like, well, I don't know what to do, and I wanted to think of something. So I'm like, well, they walk upstairs and, you have those weight. Maybe I'll deadlift on a Stairmaster. It's a funny video. So I got these two kids that were probably, I don't know, just out of high school. And this was at like a LA Fitness, LA Fitness.
Yeah.
So I go in there and I tell these kids, hey, load up the weight at the same time. We'll work all the way up to 500 pounds. Go 135, and after every step, I'll take it up real quick, right? So I think I got it up to, I think it was 400 or 500 pounds towards the top, and I realized I can't do it. I can't walk and then do a deadlift at the same time on a Stairmaster. It's like impossible. So I got
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that to begin with. Like, how's the bar go in it, right?
because it's got the railings that, you know what I mean? The railings
Yeah.
where you hold on to. The bar is inside that railing.
Yeah.
And they're loading the plates up on the side.
But isn't the bar lower than the step?
No, not lower than the step. It's higher than the step.
The bar's higher than the step.
Yeah, the bars are higher. I can't fully stand with it. Pretty much I
okay.
can, I thought.
Yeah.
But then the back railing, once it got to like 400 or 500 pounds, I couldn't do it. And it was too late. And I fucking I tore my hamstring in half. It straightened out. And then my finger got pinched in between the barbell and the back railing. And it split it. I mean, filleted it wide open to the bone. And I looked down, there's blood everywhere. I'm like, fuck. And I just walked out. I mean, a trail of blood all the way out the door. I got in my truck. I drove home. I called my wife. I said, can you bring out the insurance card? She's like, what the fuck did you do this time? Just cut my finger off again. My other one. What? Okay. I drive home. She's got just shaking her head, got the insurance card, gives it to me. I drive myself to the emergency room. They sewed it back together. And that one actually took, and everything's fine.
At this point, I would think you would carry your medical files around like fucking the dude in Roadhouse.
Right, yeah, I should.
Just walk in with a file.
Yeah,
and say,
yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I should have been. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. But, yeah, that was so I had to cut off both pinkies, right? At one time. I had both pinkies cut off. I had both pec tendons, fully detached.
Yeah.
And a big hole in my hamstring. I mean, it's there. I mean, it's like somebody put a fist, like a crater through it.
Yeah.
My right hamstring.
And how'd that one happen?
That was the same time I cut that finger off. So, and I didn't know it was that bad at the time. I knew it hurt a lot, but my finger was hurting more.
Now, were you able to film the injury?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
From like, I don't know how long it's been, probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Because I would have to.
It's on YouTube somewhere on my page.
Those views have to be better than some of the other ones. Like
I mean,
real injury
yeah,
views.
that's probably the most. Well, besides these couple new videos I've been doing about your buddy, the Liver King. Besides
Well,
that,
actually, you know, that's kind of funny because we'll talk about that because your liver's got to be worse than his.
that's what that was all.
Well, you know what? That's what I imagined before the truth came out.
Yeah,
so now we don't know.
Yeah, right, yeah,
But, you know,
yeah, the real truth.
Yeah, like 1 cc's not gonna fuck up his liver.
Yeah, half a cc.
Yeah.
He claimed to be the Liver King, and that was all I heard was Liver King. I didn't really know him at all, but I was like, that's my name. I'm the real Liver King, you know, because I drink all this crap. So it was all kind of a joke. And then he eat testicles, so I thought that was a funny saying when I got my shirt here. You know, real alphas don't eat testicles; they eat pussy.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody loved it. Like, that's the greatest saying ever. So I'm like, well, fucking put it on a shirt. And that shirt's probably sold. We might sold more of these shirts than any other shirt we ever made.
Really?
I mean, they're and especially since Liver King lied or whatever.
Yeah.
This is the greatest thing that happened to my company. I made more money in the past week than shit we made the whole year, probably. I mean, not combined, but this week more than any other week the whole year.
Did they ever release his blood work? Because I watched part of the first video. Because if they release his blood work, then you can compare liver enzymes.
Oh yeah. Then who's the real Liver King now, huh?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know,
If I can out bench you, I can out squat you, and out deadlift you. Then who's out drink you?
Yeah.
Then who's the real Liver King now?
Yeah, I mean, is it? No, it's not legal, right? Is it?
No.
And at the same time, is it cool for a coach to say, "Hey, look, here's the email"?
I know. Yeah, that's kind of
there's
bullshit,
like a whole other fucked up.
That's so weird. But yeah, that was hilarious. And yeah, I knew it was time to strike. Like Liver King's names everywhere. I'm like, oh, we gotta restock this shirt. You know what's? And then man, it's fucking. Like even like Instagram has changed a lot too, right? They had like, I don't know who was running it before, whatever the deal was. I built a big following up, and then all of a sudden, like, my videos aren't getting seen as much. I'm not gaining new followers. I mean, this is for like a couple years. And then I think Instagram went to court or something happened, and they changed the algorithm or something. This is within the last 6 months. And now my videos are getting seen more. My followers are going up constantly again. On
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the last 3 days, I've probably gained 4,000 or 5,000 followers, which I've never gained that many followers since you know, when it was good. Instagram was better.
Yeah.
So, and the reels get shown more, even though I get demonetized. I don't make money off it because I wear a shirt that says fuck on it, then you monetize you, you know. So
because you wore a shirt that said fuck on it, they demonetized.
Yeah, I had a shirt that said, you know, the only thing I like better than benching is fucking.
Is there any? Well, is there any way to be? Is that forever?
No, they said I can. Like it's per month, so they'll let me in again next month.
Oh, okay. So it's just recently that they pulled it down.
They demonetized me, I think 2 or 3 times in the past year.
Yeah. All right.
Which whatever. I mean, they don't make too much money off of it.
Just out of curiosity, when they turn it back on again, are you at the same? It's hard to determine what they're bonusing, right?
Right.
Do you think you're at the same bonus level that you were?
Man, it's hard to tell. I don't think so. Who knows? You know, I had a video get like 4 million views like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I literally made like $200 off of it.
Well, part of it is when it goes out too. You know,
well,
you have that pay period.
Well, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you want to hit at the beginning of the
pay
period.
Well, this hit at the beginning, and it had over 1 million views within a couple days. So they always, I don't know how that works, really, but I mean, it should pay a lot more than that, I would think. Yeah. You know, because if you have that many views on YouTube, that's a ton more money.
Well, that's completely different.
Yeah. Well, YouTube Reels is a good thing too.
Yeah.
So I gain. You know, I don't do YouTube that much because I'm an idiot. You know, you got to have some guy that's like a nerd that really knows how to do it. So I don't know how to do it, and I try to throw stuff together. You know, you can't film yourself. It's hard. And anyways, I had maybe 10, 11, 12,000 followers on YouTube. And just doing YouTube Reels, I gained like 12,000 followers in a month. So that's good too. Like YouTube Reels, I think they're all trying to copy that TikTok, you know, because everybody was watching that. Now we got to get something similar to their site. So Instagram went to Reels, YouTube went to fucking Shorts or whatever that is, and that helps bring more followers in, you know, and all that. So
yeah. So the
you mind if I grab another beer?
No, I assume that you're gonna have like 40 of them before you're fucking done, right?
Cheers, guys.
It's all good for me.
I got a beer and food next to me, my cooler.
Yeah. God, I forgot where we were at because I'm kind of walking through a timeline here.
Oh yeah, I got off track. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. The powerlifting started kind of actually before that, like interspersed between
So
the first meet that I saw it seemed late to your story. It was
very.
like 2013.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
seemed like there were meets before that.
Well, my first
high school shit or something.
Yeah, my dad in the 8th grade took the, table out of the living room, coffee table, put a bench in there, and we benched every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at football practice. He'd be drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, I'd be bench pressing, and that's how I started. And he'd just say, "Build the chest, fuck the rest." That was his motto. He had a huge chest. My old man did, and he loved bench pressing. So, that's how I started becoming a good bench presser.
Yeah.
And then, I went to high school, started training at the high school every day. I remember my numbers. When I was a freshman, I benched 235. And then, because they'd have a big lift-a-thon every year there. They call it, and like the whole school would be there. It'd be center court, and the stands would be filled. So it was like a big, big thing every year. And I won it as a sophomore. I think I benched 335. And that was more than any of the seniors. Mm-hmm. So they're all pissed, and I was out. And I probably weighed then, geez, I don't know, 170? I don't know. I think because when I was a senior, I probably weighed about 190 or 200, somewhere in that range. And then I benched over 400. I benched 4 plates in high school at the lift-a-thon, 405. And then I competed my first time when I was like 17 at Ernie Franz's gym.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was doing. Everybody was wearing suits because this was 1999 or 2000.
Yeah.
And I never seen suits before. They made me wear a wrestling singlet. So I saw these guys walking around, with their arms out, and I'm like, I didn't know what it was. And I remember seeing this one guy. He's a fucking monster, and he was going to bench press a lot. I don't know what, 800 pounds or something.
Yeah.
And he started fucking slamming his head against the bar, and he started squirting blood out everywhere. And I'm like, man, I fucking love this sport, And I'll never forget that. And I met Ernie Franz for the first time then. And later on, I had met him. I hung out with Ernie a lot later on in his life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome to meet Ernie and go to his gym in Aurora, which somehow got burned down. I don't know what the whole story was behind that. Ernie was awesome.
Yeah.
And then, I went to college and then cut my finger off.
Well, let's go back to the benching in high school. How much did you bench before leaving high school?
405.
So 405.
Yeah, I benched 4 plates at the lift-a-thon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my best bench in high school.
All right.
And that was probably 190.
And then you end up in France's, right? I mean, was that just an acquaintance relationship at the time, or were you training there?
No. It was way too far away for me. I lived like out in the country, probably 40 miles from there. I mean, when I was in high school, I couldn't go there.
Yeah.
I just met him. That was the first time I ever met him. And then, like I said, I didn't meet him again until probably fast forward when I'm like 30. And then we hung out a ton. He used to come to that gym we used to train at with everybody, the Little Bridges and all those people. And I remember training on his 80th birthday. I think it was 80th or 81st birthday. It's on my YouTube. We deadlifted together. And that motherfucker was deadlifting like, I don't know what it was, 400 pounds or something.
That was respectable before he fucking years old.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact he was 80 was respectable.
His arm didn't work very good, so he tied it to the bar. I mean, it was awesome. I played that George Jones song, I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair. And it just gave me chills just watching him deadlift at 80-some years old, And, he was awesome, man. Yeah.
So the bench at 405 in high school, then you're bouncing around playing ball, different schools. Mm-hmm. At what point did your bench start to, because how am I trying to ask this? My bench through high school, I benched 500 before leaving high school, and it was, say, 240 or whatever it's going to be. But then, like, 12 years, 15 years after that, I'm looking back like, what the fuck? Like, why is my bench now just 520?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So at what point did it start to slow down, and then you had to realize I can't just randomly just be doing shit?
Probably when I came back and realized I was trying to transfer into another school, and Northern Illinois University, to play football. And the head recruiter was a good friend of mine. He called me and said, I was playing Madden football, drinking a beer with one of my buddies. And he said, we're not going to, your grades are bad. I was going to community college then, went back there and said, we're not going to get you in. We can't get you in the spring, and it's not looking good, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, I'm done. I'm not going back to school. Fuck this. The only reason I was going to school is to play football. So then, I fucking found a job, and then, I trained constantly because that reminded me of football.
Yeah.
So just with the group of guys training, and still to this day, it's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
And then, it would grow a little bit, but, it'd be stagnant. But I was benching, always somewhere in the 400s or close to 500
So you pulled up
pounds.
like mid 400 before you had to really stop.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute.
And I wasn't even thinking, where I trained at, too, was like a local gym for a while, for quite a long time. I didn't realize how strong I was or anything.
Yeah.
I knew I was like the strongest guy in that gym.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how strong I was until probably when I was about 30, because I was wild and crazy. I was doing, I was drinking, and then I got settled down, met my wife, and when that happens, you settle down a little more. But then I really got settled down when I had my first kid. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I can't go out drinking and being fucking nuts all the time. I got to be responsible a little bit.
So you got to stay home and drink and go nuts.
Exactly. That's why we built a bar in the house. That's perfect. So then I'm like, well, I can really turn my focus on to just training, because I can't go to the bar. I go to the gym, and that would be my only time I get out. So I'm just going to start fucking focusing on training solely. Yeah. And that's it. And I was training with a guy, his name is Craig Turkowski. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
So I met him. I was squatting like 700 pounds at a I don't know what kind of gym it was. It was like a local gym. Yeah. And this is after I had moved. It was like near Joliet, Illinois. And he saw me, and he comes over and said, if you're going to train like that, you're training with me. Be here Saturday morning. I said, all right. Who the fuck this guy is? Yeah, yeah. So I started training with him and his crew there. And he's like, man, how come you're not competing? I said, I don't know. I never thought about competing. He's like, you could be like one of those, best in the world if you ever go compete. So I'm like, yeah, maybe down the road or something. And then after that, I trained with him for a while. And then I my first meet ever, I don't know what, I totaled like 1,800 pounds. Had no clue what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And then the Lillibridge, Ernie Sr. told one of my buddies, hey, have him start training with us on, Thursdays or whatever day they were benching and squatting on Saturdays or something. Mm-hmm. So then I started training those guys, right? And then my second meet, I think it was a second meet, I told 2028. Yeah. And that at the time, I think it was like top 5 in that weight class. And again, I still didn't really know what I was doing. I just like benching. I didn't even like, I like squatting and deadlifting. I think I squatted over, but it had to been, I think I squatted 800 pounds in that meet. Yeah. And pulled 7 something maybe.
But your training was way more structured.
Way more structured because these guys, they kind of knew what they're doing a little more than I did. Yeah. And then I met Ernie and Ernie Sr. and Ernie Franz, and then Ed Cohen and all these guys, and they had helped me too. And then, I've seen how they train, how they're working their numbers, how they're fucking peaking for meets, and all that. So I've been around so many, and then Craig, he taught me a ton. Mm-hmm. It's just all the older guys, you meet and you just gain so much knowledge from those guys. Yeah. So what I'm trying to put out there to the people that are listening is, even if you have really good genetics and hard work will get you so far. Right. Yeah. But then it's like you just beating your head against the wall, literally. Then you got to learn more. Yeah. But you need to still work hard. Exactly. And still have all the other things. Yeah, and I'm stupid, so it's hard for me to learn. Yeah. So it takes me quite a long time to learn. No, but putting you in a group of people that are basically just do what they're doing. Exactly. Then they tailor it a little bit to what you're doing. That's exactly what we do. Yeah. Then bam, there it goes. It takes off. Well, and I've never worked. Hell, where I lived, there was nobody stronger than me in that area. So I was not used to lifting with people that are actually stronger than me, like Eric Lillibridge at the time and Derek Kendall. Yeah. Those guys were fucking monsters. They were squatting 1,000 pounds on raw. Mm-hmm. So I was squatting with them on Saturdays and, bench with them on Wednesdays or Thursdays. And the only thing I keep up with them was bench. I couldn't keep up with it. They're squatting 1,000 pounds. At the time, that was like unheard of. Yeah. Nobody had squatted 1,000 raw yet at that time. So, it was just great atmosphere. It was fucking, and it was in like a really hardcore gym. It wasn't some fucking La Fitness. Yeah. We're in a cement area with fucking blood and shit on the ground and everything else. It was great. It was jacked hardcore we started at. And then another guy bought another gym, Barbell Central, and that's when it kind of got out of hand. Yeah. It was wild there. We had a lot of good lifters there. And then the guy never paid his bills and it kind of went downhill. But for about 2 years there, that gym was best gym I've ever been a part of. Yeah, well, when you say wow, give me an example of one of the wild situations. Like me and Juji Mufu lit the gym on fire. Lit the gym on fire. We lit the gym on fire. Like we made a finish line. We had a little meet and greet there. And there was a circus guy there, a guy that worked in the circus. He said he can light these rags on fire and make it a finish line. We'll do a horse race. So we put 225 pounds above our head, and we ran, and the finish line was like 30 foot long, and it was lit on fire about 5 foot high. Well, in the gym. In the gym. Okay. And we couldn't get the fucking fire out. We had fire extinguishers, everything. It was crazy. So like shit like that. You know, I ran through a Red Bull machine there. That was a big video of mine that went viral where I lined up like 20 yards away and put my shoulder into Red Bull. It split it, flew open. I mean, that thing's been everywhere. It's on Ridiculousness. Been on. I mean, it's all over the internet.
Yeah.
And that was the owner of the gym's machine. It wasn't like Red Bulls. I'm like,
Also,
hey,
it was like his
I'm sorry, buddy.
income stream.
My dad's a television repairman. He could fix it. I guarantee he could fix it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a great gym. I mean, and then all the hardcore lifting that was done there too, you know?
Yeah. Well, give me some stories of that, because that's what I know it for more than the other stuff.
Well, anytime I did like a dumb video was always after we trained, you know. I never went to the gym to like do a video. That's what people would think, this guy, what does he just go to the gym and acts like an idiot? But I can't lift like this if I went to the gym just act like an idiot all the time, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, like the hardcore, like just people, you know, like I said before, people that were, we had a group like 2 monoliths, you know, guys that could squat over like 700-800 pounds on this monolith, everybody on this monolith that was below that, and then the women on the other monolith. I mean, the place would be packed too with everybody. There must have been 8 to 10 guys there that were probably top 5 in their weight class. Yeah. I mean, those are the kind of people you got to be around to get stronger, to get better, you know. People just bleeding out of their eyes, bleeding out of their nose. I mean, I shit my pants there twice. I remember when the heaviest pulls I ever pulled was close to 800 pounds, and I remember getting it to my knees, and I started shitting, and I knew I was shitting. It felt like soft serve ice cream coming out, and I'm not going to drop it if I'm shitting my pants. I didn't care. Pulled through it, dropped the weight. I said I shit my pants. I went to the bathroom. I dropped my pants, and I didn't see any shit in my pants. I'm like, this is fucking physically impossible. Well, my butt cheeks are so big, and they were so clinched, all of it was in there. So I cleaned myself up, and I went right back in the gym and then finished my workout, you know. So just shit like that. And then I'd go to prison after that, you know. I'd train. At the time, I was working 3rd shift. So I'd train. I don't know what, we'd train from 6 or 5 o'clock to 9 at night. And then I'd go right from there, an hour and a half, all the way to a maximum security prison, work all night, and do it all over again the next day. So
and that ran, I mean, that crew, right? It was a few years, right?
Oh, yeah. I'd say at least 4 or 5 years.
And it's just from a powerlifting standpoint, you know, when you have crews like that, there's always fucking stupid drama. Right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, so how did that unfold? Like, how did you guys deal with that? Like, if it would start to bubble up, was it just one of those? I mean, we're talking Chicago. It's a little bit different than.
That gym we were training at was in Aurora, and that was a bad neighborhood too. I mean, really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there were shootings. You hear gunshots outside. We're training there at night a lot too.
Yeah.
Gym's closed except for us. 10 of us are in there training. I mean, there's drama with some of the other people. I always stayed out of it.
Yeah.
Like between boyfriend, girlfriend, all that bullshit that started happening. I don't know. I mean, I just would come in there, train like a motherfucker, and then go to prison.
Well, I think a big part of that keeps you out of it was you had to get to work.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm like, hey, we got to get going. I got to go to work.
Yeah.
I remember taking off work early just to come bench with them sometimes.
Yeah.
And those guys wouldn't start training sometimes till 9 at night too on bench night. I'm like, I can't, and then get done at 2 in the morning, and my wife would be like, where the fuck you at? I said, we just got done working out. What do you mean you got done working out? It's 2 a.m. I'm like, well, this is Lower Bridge time. This is how how they did it.
Yeah.
They'd show up about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and get the stuff going, and then we'd start benching.
Oh,
and it would take like 4 hours.
That late.
Oh, it was, man, I remember coming home 2, 3 in the morning, and I'd get there at 9.
You're starting at 10.
Yeah, they start at 10 at night.
Well, that worked for you. I mean, being 3rd shift, that worked really good for you.
No.
Well, I guess no. Well,
it depended on what shift I was on.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes when I was on, I think I was on 2nd shift then. I get bounced around a lot too.
Yeah.
But I'd take off work early and then go train with them, and I'd take off at like lunch, say 8 o'clock or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then go train, and then I wouldn't show up till like 2 in the morning at home. So it's just, I mean, it was great to train there, but man, there were some long hours.
Mm-hmm. What were some of the training things that you took away from that crew that you still use now? Obviously, the rest periods, you've shortened those. But.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they had super long rest periods. Just how they'd peak, these guys would train to peak for a meet. Just the numbers, what they'd hit, work backwards from whatever, just some of their training protocols. how to set up in certain positions, like how on the deadlift or the bench.
What do you mean?
Just different cues, you know.
For the deadlift, give me an example.
Like how to brace yourself with your belt and all that. You know, I'd come in there and I would just pick shit up. You know, it's kind of nuts. And he taught me how to deadlift better.
How would you explain how you brace with the belt?
Like you're taking a shit, you know, pretty much putting
Which
that
is
pressure
how
on there.
which actually you did.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, coach, you told me to shit. You know, and then like how to get really tight on the bench.
And what are some things that you think about there that carry? Like if you were to explain what that means to somebody that has no clue.
So pushing my knees out, getting real tight with your legs, driving back into your traps, you know, how I set up, how I press against that bar real tight, grip the bar, you know, bend it in half, all that bullshit. Just like a whole body movement instead of just using my chest.
Was there anything with the bench or any cue that somebody told you at one time that after you did it, you were like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
It was a big difference. What was that?
That was probably, it would probably be the way my shoulders set back, because they were not as back before. How you finish here instead of your shoulders a little forward. That's like 3 inches. You know, that's 3 inches less you have to travel.
Yeah.
You know, so when I was younger, I didn't know that. You know, and then I got taught that. You know, 10 years ago or something. Yeah. So I've always, you know, really gotten back on my traps, really, you know, squeeze them together, shoulder blades together, and all that.
Yeah.
Shorten that range of motion up more. And then Ed Cohen taught me that big toe trick. He said, like, push down with your big toe. It engages your leg drive better. Have you ever heard of anything like that? Yeah. I never knew that. He taught me that at my house one time. Well, speaking of that, that was the same night we brought a goat over to my shed. When Ed come over to my shed, I used to lift in a shed.
Oh, God.
And we had a pregnant goat there waiting for him.
Okay, so the goat and the goat.
So it was fucking hilarious. The goat gave birth like 2 days later.
Yeah.
He was shitting all over the backyard.
All right, so what did you do with the goat?
So I ended up benching with the goat, like, on my stomach, while the goat was giving me a lift off, benching like 500 pounds or something.
The goat?
They picked the goat up and put it on my stomach.
Yeah.
Right? While the goat's there, and then Ed Cohen's giving me a lift off.
Okay, like, the goat. I get it. I get it.
So we did that. Speaking of goats.
We also benched a goat,
yeah,
right?
I benched a goat, what was it, 80, whatever it was. How many ever number of years it was that the Cubs didn't win the World Series? It's like 80-some year, or 80-some reps.
Like a century, right? Like 100 years.
Yeah, that was on the pregame show, dubbed as the world's strongest Cub fan. And I was making fun of the Cleveland. I called them. I said, "This is for all you fat, out of shape Cleveland sweat hogs out there. Let me show you what a real man looks like." And then I picked up like 500 pounds with one arm, and I was hitting fucking empty beer cans with a baseball bat with the other. And then they also played where I benched the goat like 108 times. That's what it was, 108. And my buddy, you know, he borrowed his neighbor's goat. He had it in his truck, and we're at Barbell Central. He pulls up with the goat, brings it inside, shits all over the gym immediately. I mean, just shit everywhere. Like, oh, fuck. We got to hurry up and get this going. We put on my little platform, and I benched the goat, and then we got him right out of there and cleaned up the shit.
So you're in Aurora, you're in downtown fucking Chicago, and it just shows up with a goat.
Yeah, he showed up, you know, with a goat. He got it from, 30 miles from there, his neighbor's house.
But why?
To bench a goat, because the goat, that was the curse.
Okay, all right, so that was the thing.
So the curse for the Cubs, I don't know if you know the curse of the Cubs was the curse of the goat.
I don't know anything about the goat with the Cubs.
Oh, so a guy brought a goat into Wrigley back in 1908 or 1909, whatever it was, and they wouldn't let a goat in. He bought a ticket, and then he cursed the Cubs. So they always called it the curse of the goat. So the Cubs didn't win for like 100 years, and everybody's like, "There's that fucking goat." Well, that's how I broke the curse.
So you broke the curse.
By benching a goat 108 times.
Yes. And then they went on.
And then they went on and beat Cleveland in Game 7 and won the World Series.
So it fucking worked.
So you got me to thank for it.
Yeah. So wait, at what point in time did you think to start doing this stupid shit? Right? Because you're benching, right? And obviously, say I'm going to kind of put pieces together. You're benching, then you're on social media for whatever reason, and you're like, "Fuck."
Well, I'll tell you how I got on social media. I didn't even know anything about it.
All right, go.
I wasn't on social media until must have been right before my first meet. A supplement company or supplement store in DeKalb said, "Hey, we'll sponsor you if you go compete." I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
So they sponsored me. I haven't done shit yet, and these guys sponsored me, gave me all kinds of free supplements, and paid for my stuff. And I compete, and he comes back. He goes, "Hey, could you get on Instagram?" I said, isn't that for women? Like, that's like a picture site for women, ain't it? I don't want to get on there. They said, just get on it, be good. So I said, all right. So then I asked my buddy Tom Callis, who I train with a lot too. I had him help me set it up because I had no idea what I was doing. So I throw on like a bench video. Like my first video was like me bench like 500 pounds. It's like getting no views. I'm like, man, there's not many people in the world at 220 can bench 500 pounds. I don't know nobody likes this. So I'm sitting up in a tower one night at work. And I'm like, man, what am I good at? So I'm good at bench pressing, and I'm good at drinking beer. So I said, let's put that together. I'll do a video where I'm bench pressing, and I'm doing a beer bong, 500-pound bench with a beer bong. Nobody's done that.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then that kind of started things going. And then I'm like, I want to be entertaining because I like being strong, but also being entertaining. So I want to see something entertaining. Like, what do I want to see? I want to see something that I've never seen before. Like, holy fuck, what is that?
Yeah.
I mean, my whole life, I've been a class clown or, I've been, just trying to entertain people as well. So I think that's kind of what it was. And I'm like, well, we'll do lifts. We'll do entertaining shit, do shit nobody's ever seen before. And that's kind of how it just kind of snowballed after that.
So how's the alcohol play out when you are dealing with things like Instagram and social media where that I can see that being something that's going to get shadow banned?
Yeah.
Well,
I always try to be myself. I like to drink beer. I like to lift weights. And that's just who I am. So if they shadow ban me, they shadow ban me, but I'm not going to like change, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like an average guy who just goes home and drinks. I just happen to be extraordinarily, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
And I like putting them both together.
There's got to be more to it though. You're not eating like shit.
No.
Right?
I eat like a bodybuilder almost.
Yeah.
I can't maintain like a physique like this without, my diet is very good. I'd say at least 80% of the time, I eat similar to how a bodybuilder would eat almost. And then probably about 20% of the time I would, drink beer, eat pizza. I love eating pizza, shit like that. So I don't want to live a life where I have to like count every calorie or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look like shit. I don't want to be a sloppy piece of shit either.
So what are your tenets?
Oh, it would be
if you're going to take over the king.
Right? So good evening. Or no, what is this? Afternoon? What time is it?
It's 2.
Good afternoon, primals. This is your old pal Huck Finn Barbell here with the 9 alpha on ancestral tenets. Tenet number 1, we like to lift weights. Tenet number 2, we drink beer. Tenet number 3, we fuck. That's only 3 I got so far.
That's it.
That's it. I got to work on the rest of the 6.
Well, at some point you got to eat.
We got to eat. We don't eat testicles, we eat pussy. Right? Yeah, that's fucking great. That Liver King guy's something else. Yeah, thank you. By the way, thank you, Liver King, for helping my site. The fucking shirts are through the roof. People love them.
And then when you're coming up with these skits, do they just fucking come out of nowhere? It's that, like, I know Juji Rowe, right? I mean, he plans the shit out. It's kind of all laid out. Is it to that level, or is it more to here's the idea? Because you got to. Some of these things need a long time.
I know. Some of them are take quite a while. Like some of the bigger ones definitely are planned out.
Yeah.
But most of them, I'll have an idea in my head. I'll write something down. I'll ask some of my buddies. Hey, what do you think you can do off this? You got anything about this? One of my buddies used to like write comedy, so I'll ask him sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, what's funny? What's a good? Because I also like pro wrestling. I love pro wrestling as well. So growing up, I love the promos, like them doing a promo, like Hulk Hogan or something, or Steve Austin doing a promo. So I like cutting promos too. So that's kind of like how that some of these other shit where I just talk on the mic too. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
And it works. But like the bigger videos. I did a 4th of July video. I've done a 4th of July video a few times, but probably the biggest one I did was on a boat, and I was lifting weights with like 400 fireworks going off at the same time out in the middle of a lake, and that took a while. My buddy had found a boat, an old boat, somebody just getting rid of. We fucking pushed it out. We got like 400 fireworks, brought 225 pounds out to the boat. We had it on a rope. He pushed it out about 50 feet. And the fireworks started going off. People are fishing. They're yelling at me and shit. And I'm fucking lifting weights. Fireworks everywhere. That took a lot of time. Stuff like that takes a lot of time,
what's the most viral one that you've done?
Oh, geez.
And that's hard to.
It's hard to pinpoint.
It's hard to pinpoint because if it gets picked up,
Yeah.
let me get different. Which one was picked up by the most outlets?
I think that 4th of July one was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That 4th of July one was big. And then probably the one, like Juke and Media's bought some of my videos. So the one where I fell off a T-bar row machine has been like everywhere for like 7 years. Like that one's everywhere. And then when I ran through the vending machine, that's in a lot of places. But that 4th of July one, man, that is everywhere. Every time something needs to be said with like the United States, I don't follow soccer, but there's like the soccer thing, you know, where they're the World Cup. Well, all these companies were using my video. You know, I don't get paid for that. I don't know.
I was gonna say, how do you protect that then?
Well, you try to. I guess I sell some of them to like media outlets, and they'll buy them, and then they'll protect it.
Yeah.
So I can't. I try to. I'm an idiot. I should be selling them more. I asked Juji years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you use for your videos so I can sell these videos and all this? And he said Juke and Media, and I talked to a guy, and they bought a lot of my videos. But the last couple of years, I haven't really sold any, and that would have been a huge one because that is, I mean, literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Like DraftKings used it yesterday. Like everybody keeps using that video. Every 4th of July, every time there's something to do with the United States, it's that video with I'm Earl American playing in the background, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's a catch-22 though, because you don't know that you should have somebody representing it until it's already been used.
Oh, I know it.
And then you don't want to fucking have them pull it down.
No, because it's still
attention.
good publicity.
Yeah,
you know? So yeah, I asked my wife because she's a lot smarter than me. I said, "Man, these fucking look at all these companies. This got 1 million views on DraftKings yesterday. And it's my video. I'm not even mentioning it at all."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, why didn't you watermark it? I don't even know how to watermark shit. What? Well, thanks for telling me now.
Well,
you could have told me that 3 years ago.
They'd pull it off.
What, they would pull a watermark off?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would find
probably.
a way to.
So there's just no way.
Yeah.
You know, I still think it's great publicity either way. If you get paid, you get paid.
Yeah.
You know, eventually it comes around. You know, people buy your products. It all.
Well, at some point in time, it did start to come around because you have an apparel line and a supplement line. The apparel line first, I assume, right?
Yeah. So I was with 8 Man Strong.
Yeah.
For quite a few years, and when I tore my pec tendon off the bone the first time, I asked him, "Hey, could you make me a shirt that says okay bye on it?" Because that's kind of how I'd end everything on my Instagram as okay bye, and that came from a special, I don't know what you call him, special needs guy that grew up 3 houses down the street from me. He was like 70, and he would go to all the high school events, and he was like in the Hall of Fame for being a fan of the game. And his name's Johnny Garmy. He's awesome. And he would always say, okay, bye. Like mid-conversation, he'd say, okay, bye, and leave. Or you're on the phone, okay, bye, and just hang up. So you can use it anytime. So me and my dad have been saying that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. So I just started putting it at the end of all my Instagram posts. Okay, bye. Well, then I'm like, maybe I'll just make a shirt that says that. So, hey, 8 Man, can you make me 100 shirts? Put okay, bye on the front. Like, yeah, no problem. So they sent them out, and I sold 100 shirts, in like a day or two. I'm like, oh, that's $20 a shirt. That's $2,000. That's great. Like 3-4 months down the road, hey, can you send me another? It says build the chest, fuck the rest on it. And they did, and then that was great. They sold too. And I'm like, man, what if we had shirts in stock all the time? Who knows what kind of money we could make, So then about 6 months after that, or maybe a year after that, my wife was pregnant, and she didn't want to go back to work. She was a teacher. And she's like, I want to stay home with the kids, raise the kids and all that. So I said, well, what if we just start making our own shirts? Maybe we can make enough money doing that. So I said, okay. So we looked for a screen printing company that was going out of business. Finally found one. 6 months down the road, I pick up all the shit. We put it in my garage in my last house. And she taught herself how to screen print in about 2 months with help from these guys, JB Boss, who is a brand. They're from Iowa. And they would come out and they helped us show us how to do it. And then she started making them. And in July, one of my buddies, jacked and homeless, he's this idiot, and he died. So he died, and he said, let's get stupid in a video. So then I put the first shirt is going to be let's get stupid. So then we're like, hey, let's put these out, and we'll give them, we'll make money off it, and we'll give it to his dad. So we made that shirt, and it sold great. And then after that, sales came in, and we had a certain amount of money that we had to make per month for her to, not go back to work. And we did that easily, like the first, second, third month. So we just bet on ourselves, and it was the best move by far, definitely ever made.
Why did you decide to go screen print instead of, say, heat press? Because one's going to cost way more than another.
Yeah, I thought that screen printing was better than heat press. I think. I honestly, I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better quality, but I don't know much. I don't know anything about screen printing, but I knew other companies screen printed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never. The only guy I ever seen that was heat pressing was the guy that owned Barbell Central.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. This guy doesn't know much about business. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that good. I don't. But I didn't know anything about it. And I think JB Boss told us about it, like how because they were screen printers.
Yeah.
And we got a really good deal on the equipment. Really good.
Yeah.
So we went.
Well, it's kind of a catch-22 because you can heat press a one-off.
That's true too.
Right.
We got heat press now.
Yeah.
But at the time we didn't. We started with that. But definitely we heat press stuff
Yeah,
now.
you see what I'm saying? Because if you got a screen, you're like, fuck, okay, this better sell at least
God,
this.
I know,
you
right?
know?
Yeah, because it takes we make the screen, we make the image. I mean, everything is in house,
Mm-hmm.
right? And yeah, we did very well. And it started taking up our whole house, our last house, you know.
Well, the screen,
We had
screen print.
The whole screen printing thing was in the garage.
Yeah.
The whole kitchen, not the kitchen though, place you eat at, what they call that, eating place.
Yeah.
Fucking eating place is covered in fucking tons of shit. I mean, it was just everywhere. So we looked at expanding, getting a bigger place with an outbuilding and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
we found a great place. Now we have an outbuilding with where the shop is, and I have a big barn that I made a gym.
Yeah.
It's like 1,800 square foot barn that's got a gym in it. I mean, it's a great. I was training in the shed, you know, because when the backtrack, when everybody broke up from Barbell Central, they kind of went different directions. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not driving in there. I'm just going to start getting my own shit and just start training here because I couldn't. I had kids.
Yeah.
So I started collecting all kinds of my shit. I went to my dad's house, got some of my old plates and everything, and then I started buying more shit. And some companies started sending me stuff, and I just kind of built a shed up. The shed was in the woods. It was awesome. I mean, it was small. You get 3 guys out there. I mean, it was tight.
Mm-hmm.
And we had bench, dumbbells, squat rack, pull down machine. I mean, pretty much the necessities out there. One of the coolest things that happened out there is Muscle and Fitness came out and did a 6-page spread
No shit.
at the shed. And we lived in like the small town, Big Rock, Illinois. It has 40 people in it.
Yeah.
And they came and did a full photo shoot out there, and it was awesome. Got really drunk during the photo shoot.
How'd that go over with them?
Well, that was great because they brought me the beer.
Oh,
They kept telling me they had like one pose. I'm like a tractor or something. They're like, hey, just dump the beer down your mouth, and I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures. So I'm doing this. And I'm like, I need another beer. It's like 6 beers in a row. I'm just downing. So by the end of the photo shoot, I'm pretty lit up. It was good. Everything worked out great, and it was awesome. It said the Adventures of Huck Finn Barbell.
Yeah.
But it was fun. And it was crazy to have them in a shed because they wanted me to go to some fancy gym in Chicago. I'm like, this ain't me. I said, I fucking lift out in the woods, man. I'm in a shed. Come out here.
Yeah.
And they said, well, send us a photo of what it's like out there. And they said, okay, we'll come out there. Well, they did. And so that was awesome.
And then during this time, you pick up all this momentum, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID happens and lockdowns happen. Then for you, how did that work as far as the momentum that you were building? And because now you're not doing expos, you're not doing anything, right? So it all stopped.
Everything just slammed off.
Yeah.
I just kept doing what I was doing. What really sucked was it was right before the Arnold. That was the biggest event that first got canceled.
Yeah.
Right? So we had
the
been
day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been stocking up. I mean, for months. My wife has to work a lot extra, making shirts all night. We have to have a lot of fucking shit to bring there. So we had all these T-shirts, everything, and then it's canceled. I'm like, what the fuck? We're sitting on a ton of money right now.
Did you have the shit here, or were you not here yet?
No. We were still. I didn't leave. I don't leave till like Wednesday or something.
All right,
I think this happened Tuesday.
Yeah, so it wasn't sitting on the loading dock like a lot of other people got. Fucked.
No.
Yeah.
So I always drove in with my truck and a trailer, and I drive in Thursday. I think it was Thursday starts Friday. So I drive in Thursday, get there in the afternoon, and then load all my shit up for Thursday. But that was lucky we didn't have all that. Well, I was like, well, something's gonna happen. Let's do an Arnold sale. We'll build a fucking booth in our garage, and we'll go live, and we'll drink beer, and we'll act like it's the Arnold.
Yeah.
So that's what we did, and we had a great sale, and everything worked out good.
Did it really?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was nervous.
Yeah,
I don't know. You never know. I don't know what's going to happen.
No.
I think a lot of people kind of felt bad for companies.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because they're all set. Like some companies, I mean, that's like their whole year.
Well, that's what I'm saying, especially for apparel companies like
huge.
yourself.
I know it.
That's
not
good.
And on top of that, you get to meet so many motherfuckers. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how you grow too as a business, and everything.
Yeah.
So you never know. I mean, we did great on the sale, but we might have probably done better if there was the Arnold.
Well, you don't know.
New people.
And now it's a different Arnold.
Yeah, I went last year. I didn't have a booth.
Yeah.
And it was like 50% of what it was, kind of.
So where does that leave you now as far as would you do it this year?
We didn't get a booth this year.
Yeah. I think everybody's waiting.
Yeah, it was same last year. We waited, and I'm like, yes, let's just show up. We'll go for 2 days.
Yeah, that's what I mean by waiting. They're waiting to see what,
who's going to be there.
Who's going to be there
Yeah.
and what's going to actually happen.
I don't know. I love the Arnold. It was great. It's good exposure and publicity and all that.
It's a lot of money, too.
That's a ton of money.
Yeah.
And if you're fucking not coming out pretty good, there's no sense of doing it. Mm-hmm. So just have an Arnold sale, virtual instead of, selling at a booth. But
Well, you got a different perspective now. I mean, it doesn't take a super intelligent person to realize here's how much it cost.
Yeah.
Here's how many shirts we need to sell.
Yeah.
And, oh, wait a minute.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We got to sell this much.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye. Yeah. We'll just do it virtual again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, no, that was, and then I tore my pec tendon again. That was in April of 2020.
Well, how did you tear the first one? Let's go back to that.
So the first one, I flew out to Mark Bell's gym there at Super Training Gym, and we did a bunch of video. I benched, I think it was 525 out there, where I snorted salt, squirted limes in my eyes. It was on Cinco de Mayo. And then I benched 525. I mean, it flew. So I think I went to...
No, wait. Like, who comes up with the idea of I'm going to snort salt and fucking...
Well, I used to do it when I was like, 21 years old. I used to do that all the time.
Snort salt.
Yeah, I'd say, I forget what I called it. I called it something stupid. I don't remember, and everybody would be like, oh, you need training wheels? I said, yeah, give me training wheels. And I'll show you training wheels. And I snort the salt, and I squirt both limes in my eyes, and I take the shot,
No, I get it. Yeah.
So,
okay.
And it sucked because it burns like a motherfucker.
The lime's going to suck.
Yeah. So anyway, I did that because I thought it was funny, for the internet, for YouTube, and then I'm like, well, let's go to, I think it was 570 maybe. It would have been a PR because I hit 560 in the gym 2 weeks before that. So I'm like, oh, I got this all day. Mm-hmm. And I go in, and I'm coming out of the hole, and something popped. Felt like I got struck by lightning. I didn't even know what it was. Like, whoa, I thought somebody hit me in the side. And I fucking dropped the weight, and then Mark's like, yeah, I think that's a tendon. And he's like, if that's a tendon, man, that's like career ending or something. I'm like, huh? I didn't know anything, I'm like, because I went home. And I'm like, oh, fuck, Mark, man, career ending. I'll show you. This ain't going to be career ending.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back. Maybe some people can't come back from this, but
bruise?
I'm not some people. I'm Huck Finn Barbell.
Yeah, did it bruise at all?
It didn't bruise bad.
Yeah.
It kind of just bleeds out into the bicep a little bit.
Yeah, that's the problem when it doesn't.
I know, right? I know it. I knew it. Yeah, well, I knew that the second time for sure. Like, oh, fuck. Well, like I told you earlier, I was like, oh, man, maybe it's just a muscle tear, and I'll be back in 3 months.
Yeah. How long did that one, how long did you wait until you got it fixed?
Oh, I got it fixed as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Because I heard if you don't, then you got to get a cadaver tendon. And in over 21 days, your tendon dies, they said.
Yeah, I don't know, because I waited 6 weeks or something like that with mine.
And they used your tendon or the cadaver?
It was probably, I'm going to guess it's probably cadaver, because this was a long time ago.
Right.
So, fuck, I'm going back to 89.
Oh, yeah.
I was going way back.
Yeah, I didn't want a cadaver tendon because I heard they weren't as good.
Yeah.
And I went in there and, I got it probably within 10 days.
Yeah.
I got it surgically repaired. Within 6 months, I was back to about 85%. 90%, which was great because they told me you'd never even bench again. The doctors always tell you, like, don't go above 225, don't do this, And I went back, benched 500 pounds hundreds of times again. Everything was great. Competed again, everything.
Did they know when you went in, did they knew pretty quick that that's what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew it too because I talked to like 3 other people, and they're like, I talked to a physical therapist, some other people like, that's definitely the tendon.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they told me what the deal is, and I was kind of trying to figure it out. I'm asking other people who've had it, what do you do? How do you do this? Looked up everything I could, and then I just went and got tons of what is that PRP, right? PRP. I got tons of that because the company in Kentucky kept doing it, so I traveled down there, fucking like 6 times, just doing everything I could to come back. And I did, and about a year later, I was back over 500, everything. And another thing was the WWE had contacted me for an invited tryout through email, so I didn't know anything. I contacted this other guy. I say, you know this guy? And he's like, yeah, that guy's like in charge of talent or something at WWE. I said, holy shit. So then I sent all my papers away, and I sent everything. I had a plane ticket, everything. And this was for 2 weeks before I tore it. I was supposed to go to Orlando for an invited tryout. And I was thinking, it was 2 weeks. Yeah. And then I tore it at Mark's gym, and they never invited me again. So I said, hey, in like 6 months, I contacted me, hey, everything's good. I can come down whenever you got another tryout and everything, and nothing. They kind of just, blew me off. So that was it.
No, it's interesting because when I popped mine, where it was a different time, right? And it was at a bench meet here in Columbus, and it was when I was traveling back and forth from Toledo to Columbus to train at Westside. Yeah. And so I blow the thing off, and I remember Louis saying, oh, you just pulled it. And my entire fucking pec was under my nipple. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like, it's just fucking wrong. And I'm like, man, I don't know, man. Like, this is fucked up. And then I was 6 weeks away from graduating from college. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's a couple doctor visits before there. The first doctor visit, they wouldn't see me because the amount, when you have to fill out, meds and shit, they're like, no, you come back tomorrow. Because it was a meet. Other kind of shit. And, that's a whole other,
No, come back in 2 months.
Wait, I never took anything. That's what I should have said, right? And, but when I went back to college and I went to the college doctor there, she said, well, you just pulled it. And I flex it, and what it's when you flex it, what it looks like, it's like fucking. It's actually kind of awesome in a way. Like if the whole
like
pack would look like that, it's like, well, boom. And so finally, when I got it done, and where I'm kind of going with this is, I mean, they knew right away with you. I had to go to like 5 fucking different people.
Oh shit!
And it's like, yeah, you tore it, and I'm like, you think? I can't even lift my arm off the ground.
Right.
And I'm trying to like your own story. I'm trying to will myself to bench.
Yeah, you're like, I think it maybe is just strained or torn barely.
Did you deal with? I was in a sling I was supposed to be 6 weeks. It was like a week, but did you deal with scar tissue tearing? Like when you come back, right? It's like pop. You're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, big time.
For how long?
Ooh, probably a couple months.
Okay.
It'd be off and on. I'd be benching and I'd feel like something just tore again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I didn't know, and I had asked somebody. They said it's just scar tissue breaking up.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, because it scares the shit out of you.
No,
you don't want that fucking thing to tear again.
Yeah, that shit went on for me for like fucking 2 years.
No, I haven't had anything probably. Shit. I think 3-4 months maybe.
Yeah.
When I started benching a little heavy.
Yeah.
Probably a year ago.
And I had the same thing where the doctor's like, you'll never bench 405 again.
Oh, yeah.
And it was weird. That alone was fucking weird to me because I'm like, why not 365? Like, where's this fucking 405 come from?
Right, yeah. You'll never bench 405 again.
This is stupid. But
you will never bench 405 again, but I will.
Yeah, but it fucked with my head, right?
Yeah, that makes me angry, though.
Yeah.
Because it drives me. Like, no, I'm going to fucking put this up your ass.
Yeah, but I was hearing, well, all your tendons look like, like fucking spaghetti.
Oh, yeah.
All this other stuff.
And you're like,
I got
shit.
spaghetti tendons
I'm
and fucking
fucked.
405. And I tried to like recover the right way, slow and gradual and all that. So you don't get back to the heavy weights for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. And then it's like the scar tissue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, and it fucked with my head. That was the first real major injury I had, or surgery. It did. It
Same
fucked
here,
with my head.
besides my finger.
Yeah, the only way I was able to get around it is I had to start visualizing the worst case scenario.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, so I would, as you get ready for the bench, I'm like sitting there, and I'm like picturing, okay, I'm going to get underneath there, I'm going to take it out, I'm going to lower it, my pec's going to go, the bar's going to smash my head, fucking blood's going to go everywhere, and I would start getting so.
I get the chills.
Yeah, then I would get so.
I get so amped up. I still get so amped up going, heavier, you know, an 80, 90% range.
Yeah.
I mean, I get so amped up of benching, I'll start getting the chills before I even sit on the bench.
Yeah.
I'll just get myself so amped up, and I got to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, I do now.
I mean, and I've been like that. I've been like that for a long time. I don't know why, but I just get so fucking fired up, man. I get so fired up I could shit, you know, like I said.
No, it's fun.
But, yeah, there's just in your head, especially that first year, you're like going heavy, and you're like, fuck.
Ooh, you get mad that you're being a puss.
And then, yeah, that's what I say in my head. I'm like, fucking stop being a bitch. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then in your head, you're like, oh, because I went up to 485 or something in the last 6 months. And I remember I smoked like 465, whatever it was, just smoked it. I mean, like fast. And then I pull it out, and I feel that weight in my hand, and I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm bringing it down. I'm like, I'm just going to pause it on my chest, and I'm going to make him take it. Like, I'm saying that to myself.
Oh, I know.
And then all of a sudden, I start pushing it, and it's going up. And I'm like, oh, shit, I got this.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, that's just it just helps you mentally so much because you've already hit that weight. You're like, oh, I've already hit this. I can do this again.
No, I think you need to go through that kind of
Big
stuff,
time.
right? And for a long time, my benches got faster because I was so fucking scared. I'm like, I want this fucker off me the fastest I possibly can.
Oh, yeah.
Then I became the opposite of a puss. I wasn't scared about it anymore. I'm like, well, now I need to eat something else.
Yeah.
To be able to get fired up to that same level.
Man.
You know, it's.
Oh, no, I've been through it. I mean, I've been through it twice.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's the worst, you know.
What'd you do different the second time?
I talked to a guy who's rehabbed this exact injury with professional athletes before as a friend of mine, and he helped me out with everything. Like, I bought a slide board. I bought all kinds of shit to rehab, and I rehabbed literally. I would wake up at 4:45 a.m. I'd go out to my shed, and I'd rehab for an hour before work. This is the most boring rehab ever. Is moving my arm in different ways with a slide board, fucking lifting it up with like a stick and getting a range of motion.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that for 4 months, all this rehab. I mean, tons of rehab. Then I'd go to work, and then I'd come home, and then I'd train my good side or my legs or something, and then I'd slowly start training both sides again. So I rehabbed like a motherfucker. I mean, I rehabbed the hell out of it, like constantly. So this guy, Jacob Ross, he helped me a ton with rehab because before, when I first came back, I didn't really know anything. I just started benching again, just slowly progressing. You know, like, you know, one plate, 185, 225, 270, just keep going up, man. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Ernie Sr. helped me a little bit the first time because he had been through it. He kind of he pushed me pretty fast.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, the only thing different really I did was one of my buddies really knew how to rehab it really well. So I was rehabbing twice. I'd go home and, like I said, I'd go home to and go to physical therapy that the doctor gives you or whatever the fuck that is, right? So I'd do my own physical therapy. I'd go to physical therapy and I'd train.
Yeah.
And that happened 4 to 6 months. I did that, and I was already benching like 315 pounds, and the therapist was telling me she doesn't want me to come back. And I said, well, what did my insurance say? Well, you still have 10 more visits. I said, well, I'm still taking 10 more visits because you can break up scar tissue. You can do anything.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. I want to keep getting better. You know, if they're paying for it, I'm not paying for it.
Yeah.
You know, so the more, the better. That's what I did. And I'd go to work. I'd use a broomstick, push my arm because I couldn't move my arm when I first went back to work, you know, because you get that range of motion.
Yeah.
It's all tight.
What do you do different with your bench now because of these tears? Anything?
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, I'm a fucking idiot. You know, I try to. I bought your bar. I bought that the football bar, right? I use that. I try to use different bars just to have different, like bar pass or whatever you call that. Different variations of the lift, right? Which, you know, I should always do that, but I just love bench pressing with a straight bar, and I'm an idiot. I do it a little bit. I try to use, you know, my back more in the bench, like everything like that. You know, I just try to keep your pecs out of it more. That's the only thing I've kind of done differently, but I mean, I'm pretty similar.
Well, it's tough because when you look back, you try to figure out, like, why did this happen?
Right? Yeah.
Right? And there's so many compounding variables, you know, I mean, you can say you're dehydrated because you're drinking 40 fucking beers, or
That's
it could
true.
be this, or it could be this, or it could be, who the fuck knows what it is?
Yeah.
Like, it happened. It's an acute fucking injury. It
Right.
fucking tore off the tendon.
Yeah.
You know, a muscle strain, I would kind of think a little different. You know, it's how my brain, like your hamstring makes more sense. Or,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've heard other things. You've pulled muscles.
Of course.
You know why you pulled the muscle. when a fucking tendon detaches, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah,
This is
and
what
like the
it
second
was.
time I tore it, I think I was doing 7 sets of 3 at like 435 or something.
Yeah.
And on my 7th set was a max rep set. And I texted my buddy Cowboy Cam. I said, how many do you think I can get? And he said 6. I said 10. And I go and do it. Because I already done this 6 sets of triples already. I mean,
Yeah.
And then I go and in the second rep or whatever it was, and my wife was spotting me because COVID had just happened. So we didn't know what was going on. So I had no idea. Nobody wanted to come over. Nobody wanted to do anything. So I had my wife spotting me. So I said, hey, this is easy. I got this all day. All you got to do is lift it. You don't even have to lift it for me. Just act like you're lifting it. Grab your beer, drink a beer while I'm doing this, act bored for the video. Okay. She turns around, grabs her beer, and as she turns around and grabs her beer, she didn't know that I just threw my pec in it, and the barbell's laying on my stomach.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like, God damn it. Fuck, and it rolled it off me, and I knew immediately what happened because it felt very similar to the first time. I'm like, I'm so fucked.
How long did it take to get you in? Because non-electives.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm telling him, I said, hey, I make money doing this. I'm a professional athlete. I'm just giving every line I got.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to get this done within 21 days. My tendon will die. And all that. I'm giving him everything I got because I want it. I didn't know. I'm like, I'm so fucked. I'm not going to get the surgery. It's going to be like 2 years.
Yeah.
But I got in with probably 15 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went the next day. I told my doctor, I said, send me to an MRI immediately. I tore my pec tendon off the bone.
Yeah.
They did. And they called me on the way home. And that night, before I went to the MRI, I bench press. I don't know what it was, 225, 135, whatever it was. Because I'm like, I'm doing push-ups off the wall or whatever, off the fucking table. Maybe it's not the tendon. And then I go outside, just like you did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I willed myself to do it, but it's pretty much I lifted with this arm the whole way.
Yeah.
And I did it. I'm like, I think I'm all right. I mean, literally within 10 minutes after I left that place, the lady called me and said I tore it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. Well, how soon can they reattach it? Well, then they called me the next day, go visit the doctor. Hey, we can get you in this week. Okay. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then I sat on the couch and drank beer and watched fucking Netflix for like a week.
Yep.
It's fucking terrible. I played Doug Stone's. I'd be better off in a pine box.
Yeah.
On repeat.
I've had a lot of injuries, so what did you watch? Because after a while, you run out of shit to watch.
Well, I watched Vikings. That's why I watched Vikings the whole season.
Yeah.
I watched Vikings, and then I watched Aerial America. So I'm watching Aerial America, and I'm recording it, and I'm saying, I'm in Kentucky today. And it's just a recording of Aerial America in Kentucky. And people would be like, hey, where you at in Kentucky? I want to meet you. I'm like, I'm watching on TV, you idiots. I'm not really in Kentucky. I'm just pretending to be there.
What are some skits that you've done that didn't work? They didn't go. In other words, you set it all up, and it's just a complete disaster.
Yeah, so the last 4th of July video,
Yeah.
complete disaster. We were out there for like 5 hours. It got dark. We couldn't get the boat to float. We're in the river, and the river's too low. We had a fucking four-wheeler out there that broke down that was trying to pull the boat. We had a tractor in the water. I mean, oh yeah, he almost cut his toe off. He got caught by a beer bottle in the fucking river. I mean, it was like a complete and utter disaster. So I had all my buddies there, and every week we trained on Thursday night for bench. And I said, hey, this is going to take like an hour. We'll go do this real quick. We'll go back and bench. Okay, that's no big deal. So we all went down there. We didn't get back to bench like 10 o'clock at night. Fucking video was half-ass. Okay video. Didn't do nearly as well as I thought it was going to do. And just such a waste of money. I'd spent so much money in fireworks, everything else. I mean, it did all right, but nowhere near as I thought it would do. I thought it was a great video. And, nothing was working. So that's definitely one of them. One of the ones that I thought would do well that didn't do well, and everything went awry.
Yeah. What are the ones that you didn't think were going to do shit that took off?
Oh, this fucking Liver King stuff. I thought for sure it wasn't going to be. I mean, this caught me totally off guard. I was just making a joke out of it. Because I'd seen the guy, he just walked through his woods, and I'm like, well, I'm the real Liver King, like we saying. I drink beer and all this, and I said, hey, I got a beer backpack. Throw that on. Give me a couple cases of beer laying in the corner over there. I'll walk through my woods saying, I'm the real Liver King and all this. And at the end, I thought of a clever idea is like, real alphas don't eat testicles. They eat pussy, It's a joke to Liver King.
Yeah.
I had no idea that would take off. I mean, that took off like 1 million views. I thought maybe fucking 50,000 or something, something like that. Just bullshit. And it took off so much that like pretty famous, like, bodybuilders and
I would think the word pussy would hold that from taking.
That's what
off.
I thought too.
Yeah.
I thought there's no way because there'd be a select audience that would buy something like that, right?
Yeah.
But shit, man, like I said, I sold more of those shirts than any shirt we've definitely sold the last year, or maybe.
No, I'm just
2.
saying the video. I'm surprised the
Oh
video
yeah, that
would
well,
do that
too.
That.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, I get the shirt. I understand the shirt, but I don't understand how the video was able to do that without it getting
flagged or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It did. Man, I played it. I replayed that video recently. It's got 700,000 views since like 2 days ago.
Oh, so you just reposted
I reposted it because I'm like, oh shit, let's repost it and put my shirt at the end of it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And just try to sell the shirt.
Well, you can post it each billing cycle or every pay bonus cycle,
just
right?
keep getting money off of it. That's,
yeah.
Fuck, I'm demonetized now. That's a waste. I shouldn't have did it. But, man, we made a lot of money selling those shirts.
Yeah. Well, that's you're going to make more doing that than you're going to make the couple $100 on Instagram.
So I didn't think stuff like that or I'm trying to think of other videos in the past. It's weird because you'll think some videos are so good, and I'll post them, and I'll look at them like an hour and doing like shit. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Man, this is like such a great video. How is this not doing so
like
well?
Thumbing down on the phone.
Like, there's no way this is not doing this well. And then other videos are like, I don't know if I'm going to post it. But then I just always post no matter what. I don't give a fuck, so I'll post it. It'll probably do all right. I look at it, and I'm like, holy fuck, it's done this well? It's crazy.
Do you put it on TikTok too?
I try to regurgitate them on TikTok as much as I can, but man, they pull my shit down all the time. They threaten to take me off there. They have taken me off there before.
Yeah.
They deleted my, or not deleted, what do they call it? Permanently just suspended it or something. Well, I wrote to them like, hey, you guys are picking on me. I feel like I'm being picked on by you guys and all this. And they immediately give my account back. So if you just say you're feeling like you're picked on, boom, just replay it back on them. Why are you guys picking on me? Everybody's picking on me.
Yeah.
So they gave me an account back then. So I'm on there. And I kind of just posted my videos. You know, I don't make.
When you get the account warning, how long does it last?
Say it again.
For TikTok, if they give you an account warning.
I have an account warning right now. I've had it ever since I've been on there.
All right. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I've never not had an account warning. It's always said account warning on there.
Yeah.
But they did take me off there, and I said I was being picked on. And within 24 hours, it was back.
Mm-hmm.
Same with my Twitter. They took my Twitter off for. Man, I didn't do anything. I don't post anything like.
How long ago did they do the Twitter thing?
God, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Well, I got it back. I told them I felt like I was being picked on. Same thing.
Really?
And they gave it back to me because I had like a lot of, I had pretty good following on there.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah.
everything helps.
Yeah.
So and they did the same thing, and I ended up getting it back about 5 months ago.
Huh.
So I'm on there.
Yeah, I had my Twitter. Is when I learned mine. It's pretty much the same time. Both just got axed for like no reason.
Yeah.
And I had like 300,000 followers or some shit
shit.
like that. I mean, it was a lot. And like it's not like I was actively doing anything.
Mm-mm.
I would just make a blog post and share it to Twitter. I mean, it was literally
no, and I wasn't. I don't do anything like that's. What would you call it? Where it should be taken off.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm doing is like dumb videos or fucking drinking beer or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just normal shit. Nothing that's controversial at all.
Yeah.
Like that should have been taken down. So I don't get it.
Now with a Twitter, as I just said, fuck it for like a year. Then I just created a new one. I got like 400 followers now, or some stupid.
Well, yeah, and it's harder to build a following than it was before, I think.
Oh yeah, I started Twitter when it first started.
Yeah,
and it was like all text messaging type.
Right,
of
right,
shit.
right. Yeah,
and it was like, it was stupid then, because you're like, I'm gonna go to school.
Right. Yeah.
Or whatever. It was just stupid. But I did it because I thought it might help the business.
Well, yeah, anything would help. It's just like a TV channel, right? Like you have Instagram, Facebook, all that, all the social medias is just like how ABC, NBC, Fox is. It's the same type of deal. So I want to promote. It's free promotion on everything. You want to get your name out there, your business out there, and everything, so everybody sees it, no matter what it is. I mean, anything that ever started up, like a TikTok started up. Somebody said it was getting popular. Let's get on there, get my name on there, and just regurgitate the videos, and people see it, and build a following. You don't know how big it's going to get.
Do you see the same response from each? Like it's for a while, I haven't done shit on my own Instagram because I'm doing the Elite FTS one, socials now. But on my own, I would do like reaction things. It's like a duet. So
yeah, no, I saw those. Yeah,
scream at them.
Right.
And it would do just comment wise, or just the way people on here. But then on like TikTok, it would just get fucking blasted.
It wouldn't be any good on there.
Different audiences.
Definitely, yeah. I see a bigger. the biggest.
No, the views. I mean, the views are good. It's just which direction.
Oh yeah.
it was
The
going.
comments on TikTok's way different than the comments that are on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
I agree with that. 100%.
Which is way more negative, but I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck because there's way more of them.
Yes. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about what anybody says as long as they're commenting.
Because there's
you
a
know,
lot,
you go look at some comment, and it's some fucking guy with like 2 followers. Like every time it's a bad comment, it's some guy with 2 followers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, who's this guy? Then I'll fucking pin it. You know, this comment's pinned. Fuck you, you prick.
Yeah.
And then his fucking shit will be gone. Like, oh no, he's erasing his stuff.
It's like now he's never going to comment again. It's like fuck.
Right. Pin that comment. I'm gonna have another beer. You mind?
Nope. I figured that. Well, yeah, 4.
Yeah, we're only at 4. We're good. Probably about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a leak.
With at what point during your journey did you meet your wife?
Geez, probably. What is it? 20? Was it 24?
So is that still college?
No, I've been out for a couple years, and I met her at Country Thunder.
The fuck is that?
It is it's hilarious. It's a country music festival for 4 days where you camp out, 100,000 people, and you get drunk, and it is just a shit show.
Okay.
And it's in Twin Lakes, Wisconsin. So I would go every year since I was like 18 or something, 17, 18. And I'd always throw a couch in the back of my pickup truck, and that's where I'd sleep in for Country Thunder. I'd find one in the spring, leave it back there all summer, and then when I go to Country Thunder, I'd bring 10 cases of beer, 2 packs of hot dogs, and my couch. That's it. That's all I brought. And I'd pass out, put the couch down on the ground. I never had a tent, never had nothing. Sleep outside on the couch every night. And then we had one year, I noticed a good-looking girl that was across the way from me, setting her tent up, and I'm sitting on my couch drinking a beer. I'm like, man, that chick looks just like Jessica Biel. But I bet she's a real bitch, you know. And I go and talk to her, and she said, like, the first thing I said to her was, slap me in the face so hard you can, or something stupid, I guess.
Yeah.
So she slapped me in the face, you know, and she thought I was an idiot the first day, and then the second day, you know, she liked me.
Yeah.
So, you know, we drank a lot of beer together, and then it's been a love story ever since.
So she knows she knew you're an idiot.
Oh,
right?
yeah, exactly. She knew from the start I was a complete idiot.
Yeah.
So anything that happens, she knows I'm an idiot. I mean, it's your fault. You already know I'm an idiot. You married me.
Yeah. So where I'm going with this is throughout this journey of you becoming more of a social idiot. Let's just go that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's behind it all because it's who you are.
Yeah.
Or is she? Has there ever been a point?
Well,
in time
I've
she's
always
like, what the fuck are you doing?
So I've always been this way, even before there was cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was this way doing really dumb shit before there's any social media. I mean, just always the same. I just happened to start putting it on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so locally I was really well known, but I wasn't well known, you know, like in the country or something. You know,
Yeah.
You know, we travel places across the country, and you know, I remember people started recognizing me. And she was like, oh, all these people know who you are. Like, we'd be in Virginia Beach somewhere, you know, people had always recognized me. And she's like, but we're not making any money off this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I said, well, eventually we'll make money off it somehow. I don't know. You know, and that's how we started our brand. But I forget what I was talking about.
So she was the one that's trying to figure out how to monetize this
thing. It's
okay.
like everybody knows you, but we're making nothing off of it.
Yeah.
Like you're
it's actually costing you.
Yeah. You're gaining popularity, but we're not making anything off of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she always knew I was an idiot, you know, just who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started putting it on social media, and, you know, that's how.
So when you start doing some of these stunts, I mean, obviously she cares about you, at least I think she
Oh,
does,
geez,
right?
yeah. So, this is a good story. I thought of an idea of benching or overhead pressing on top of a barbell. I put 8 plates on the bottom of a barbell, put a barbell through it, and put 1 plate up top, and I stood on top of it. So I'm standing on top of a barbell in the ground with the woods behind me, and I was going to overhead press like 135 at the same time. Well, I got up there, and the fucking thing's just shaking like terribly. It's spinning, shaking. I'm thinking I'm going to die. My wife sees it from the kitchen as she's doing the dishes, starts yelling at me and my buddy Cam, if you fucking lose your dick, I'm going to marry another guy. Like all this shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, what are you talking about? You know, and like she was upset. Some of the stuff she gets upset about when it's like really something could go awry and be real bad.
Yeah.
And but other than that, no, she's pretty supportive. Like she'll think of dumb stuff for me to do sometimes.
Okay.
You
What's
know.
one example of that?
Shit. I'm trying to think. What's the dumbest thing that she's? Oh, yeah, the e-bike. Yeah, that's it. The e-bike. So I got an e-bike from a company they sent me, So they sent me a free e-bike, so I was going to do it like a promotional video for them.
What is an e-bike?
It's like an electric bicycle that goes 25 miles an hour. So I take an electrical bicycle, and I take this fat guy. He's my buddy. He's like 350 pounds, and I put a piece of plywood on top of him. We light the plywood on fire, right, as a ramp, and I take up from the hill, and I come down the hill going like 30 miles an hour.
So the fat guy is the wedge for the ramp.
Yep.
On fire.
On fire.
All right.
And we're going down. I'm going down at 30 miles an hour at this thing, because you're going downhill, getting a little speed. I hit I've never jumped anything in my life. I have no idea what I'm doing. I jump it, fucking fly off the bike. My leg makes a backwards J. It looks like I tore everything in my leg. I thought I had a compound fracture. I mean, it was the worst. Fucking bike's fucking broken in half. Shit's everywhere. My leg made a J. I mean, it was terrible. And I couldn't walk for like 6 weeks. Never went to the doctor. I benched that night. I said, hey, I think I have a compound fracture. We checked my leg. I was fine. My leg swelled up like 8 times the size, right? And
this was her idea.
That was her idea.
And it fucked you up
big time.
One of the worst
and
ones.
she was real upset about it. Yeah, she was very upset. It was bad. And everything turned out good. Yeah. No, I ended up benching. I put my leg up in the air. We put a chair out there, benched that night. Went to work the next morning, could barely walk, and after about a month, I was all right. Yeah. So yeah, that was one of her ideas.
The supplements came in not too long ago, like a year ago, maybe, right?
Yeah, we started them maybe 2 years ago. It's tough with COVID. It's been kind of hard.
Yeah. Was that her idea? Was that whose idea?
It was 100% my idea.
Okay.
I'd been sponsored by a few different supplement companies, Redcon One, some of these other guys, and they were paying me too much, and I got flown out to the Olympia for a certain company, and they were gonna sponsor me. And they offered me like pennies on the dollar, like way less than I was making from the last company. Yeah. And I said, I'm not going to sign for that. So I was like, hey, I told my wife, hey, I got connections. I know people that know, manufacturers and stuff. I could sell a pre-workout. Yeah. I'll make my own pre-workout. Let's just go that route. So I did, and went back and forth with these guys for about 4 months. Got it down. Perfect. Love the pre-workout. Let's get stupid. It's fucking my favorite pre-workout of all time. That's all I ever take. I take tons of it. Yeah. I gave it to all my friends. They said, this is the craziest pre-workout they ever had. I said, we got a winner when we were, sampling it. Flavor spot on. Everything was good. And, we just went with that. One of my buddies is an artist. He kind of helped me with the design of it and everything. And I'm definitely glad I went with that, too. Same with the apparel and same with the pre-workout. We have amino acids and stuff. And we got a bunch of flavors. Prison Punch. What is it? Let's Get Stupid Prison Punch. White Lightning, Ring of Fire. That's coming out soon. Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire tastes just like Fireball whiskey. That's a good one. Loco Unicorn. What else have we got? I don't know, but it worked out great. Great flavors, and everything worked out. So, yeah, I'm really glad, really happy with that, too.
Well, I was wondering what spawned that, because that's a saturated industry.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not. It is and it isn't, right?
Yeah, I reached out to a couple guys that are like Juji and Tony, the real tactical guy, and some of these other guys that are, in the industry and know their stuff. And I said, hey, what do you think about making a pre-workout? And everybody that I reached out to is like, yeah, it's too saturated. That's all. They all said it.
Well, I think it depends on what.
I said, so is the fucking apparel business. Yeah. And I'm killing it in the apparel business. Same shit.
Well, I think it's, if you have a brand, you have a brand name, right? As you have, and a lot of other people in the industry have, people want to support you, right? So if they're going to buy a pre-workout anyhow, they'd rather buy it from somebody they want to support. And
it's fucking good. You know, if you have it, you have to. We have a lot of repeat buyers, so you have to have a good product. I'm not going to put out a piece of shit, Yeah. So that's another thing. It has to be good because you want them to repeat buy.
Yes.
And support you. So that's
what's been consumables.
It's
a big thing.
It can't be terrible.
No, it's a good thing. It's one of the things I suck at.
Yeah.
I don't have consumables. When you sell shit that lasts 10, 15 years, it becomes a problem.
Yeah. People buy it one time, the whole life. And we're going to take that bench, by the way, with us at home. We're going to put it in the back of the van.
What's I don't want to say stunt. What's a bucket? Let's just call it a stunt. I don't know what else to fucking call these things. What's one that's on you that you want to get done that you haven't been able to get done?
To light myself on fire.
To light yourself on fire.
Yeah, I talked to a guy that was in the stunt industry. Like, he's a stunt man, like one of the best stuntmen. This guy, Luke Hawks, he knows a lot of these stunt guys. He's a stunt guy. And I talked to him on the phone about it. and you have to have a license to get this gel that you put on you and all that. And I've been wanting to do it for like 2 or 3 years, and just haven't got together with this guy. But yeah, put that gel on, light my whole body on fire except for my head, and then have girls roasting marshmallows on me while I'm overhead pressing like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big ones I want to do. I've been wanting to do it for years. They just haven't got together with these guys yet to get it done because I can't do it myself.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And they said you can only be lit on fire for like 10 seconds because it gets too hot.
Well, you need a fast roasting marshmallow then.
Well, that's true. But I think it's just funny if they're not going to be able to roast whole marshmallow.
No, I get it.
But as they're just roasting it on me and I'm lifting above my head and I'm completely on fire except for my head, I think it would be fucking hilarious. And I've never seen anybody do that.
Yeah.
So
what's another one?
Shit. That was probably the biggest one. Another one is definitely this year because I got this boat and there's a lot of snowstorms where we live.
It seemed the last boat thing didn't work so well.
Yeah, I know. But we got to use the boat because we got a boat just sitting out in the woods right now. So I was going to have one of my buddies pull it with his 4-wheeler, and then I was going to be doing something in it and just going down the road and whipping shitties and make the boat fly over. So I'd go flying out of it too, like whip it around and have maybe people skiing on the back of it or something like that. So I was trying to think of winter videos, like a good Christmas video, something like that. I like good.
Well, you need snow too.
Yeah. So next snowfall, we got to do it.
Yeah.
I think we're getting 3 inches Thursday.
But how long is it still there now?
No. I'm saying this Thursday.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to snow, so it's got to be fresh too.
Yeah,
so we got to go down the road with it.
I mean, the last couple of years, does it stick very long? Because here it will snow and it won't stick.
Oh, no. Hell no.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, we get a lot of snow where we're at.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah.
And I live out in the middle of nowhere too.
Yeah.
So there's fields everywhere. I'd like to do it right down the main road though.
Yeah. So like Dexter snow shit.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
So there's your other video there.
Mm-hmm.
You just fucking kill somebody.
Yeah, Dexter. That's one of my favorite shows. I love that show. Dexter Kill Room.
Yeah. Have you seen the latest series?
Yeah, where I didn't see it. It's on new Showtime, right? Last year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new one yet.
No, it's
where
like
he comes back as a fucking whatever. He comes back as a mountain man or something.
Yeah, and his kid finds him.
Yeah.
So he's like,
oh, I didn't watch it yet. Don't tell me.
I ain't gonna say anything.
All right. Yeah, because I want to watch it. I like the original Dexter.
No, it's fucking good.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
I don't know if it's as good as the original, but for me personally, I would put it pretty damn close.
I gotta watch it. I love Dexter.
No, it's some good shit.
Yeah.
If somebody is trying to, because right now social media and Instagram and all these fucking kids, everything's there's two sides, right? There's people that are going to bitch about it, and people that are trying to use it, but a lot of people are trying to build their following, right?
Yeah.
Especially in this industry, they're trying all different kinds of ways. If you kind of organically did it, but then didn't kind of organically, then you start thinking about it. If you were to go back or advise these kids now, what would you tell them to do, not do? For instance, royalty, protecting your.
Yeah, definitely. You try to get your video, and you don't know what's going to be good though, too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys are starting at no followers.
Exactly.
Right? So
the biggest thing is to entertain, because people just keep scrolling. But if you can entertain somebody, and you got to do it quick too, because if it's like 2 seconds in and you look like you're just walking around, I'm not going to watch that. You're going to skip right through it. So it's got to be quick. Got to grab your attention, right? And then it's got to be like shit like you haven't seen before. Always thought that. What haven't I seen before? There's something that's better than something you've seen, but a little bit of your spin on it. So anytime I think of a video, I like to like a video, something I've never seen. Because if you haven't seen something and it's crazy, you're going to watch it. That's going to give you views. That's going to give you followers. So just think of, and everything's been done. So many people have copied me. It's crazy. Everything has been done, and it's just hard. It's just hard.
Yeah. Well, I think
my advice is drink beer and think of something stupid.
Yeah. Well, I think the key thing for you though was you took out of the things that you love, you took two of them and put them together.
That's true. Yeah.
Where I think what a lot of people are trying to do is to take the one thing that they love, say if it's just powerlifting,
right,
and just do that.
Good luck. Yeah, I know it's tough because I've seen all that. I've seen people bench 5, 6, 7, whatever pounds. I've seen people squat 1,000 pounds. I've seen all that. It's great, but normal people are going to skim right by it. Yeah. So it's tough.
Even the powerlifters, there's just see them
Yeah,
right by
it's
it,
just,
you know.
man, I've seen this. It's great, but people, they've become immune to it. You know what I mean? So I kind of realized that right at the bat when I was like benching 500 pounds, and people didn't care. It's like, man, this is fucking great, but nobody wants to watch it. So I got to think of something else, I guess. You know.
It's true though. Nobody gives a fuck about your 500 pounds.
Nobody gives a fuck
or your
except for
1,000
me.
pound squat.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true. It's
a very
so
small
true.
percentage of people care.
Right. That's true.
And then the ones that do are either going to be jealous of because of how you did it,
100%.
You know, or try to belittle how you did it.
Oh yeah, right.
Right.
Oh, that wasn't deep enough. Yeah, that you fucking was a soft handoff or whatever. You know.
Yes.
You see that all the time.
Yeah.
Especially in the meats.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing is, you know, meat clips and stuff like that only go so far. That actually, in my opinion, if it's somebody that they're trying to build their following, those are the worst clips you want to post, because now you're going to use the same background as fucking everybody else on that same day.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So how is that?
It's so boring.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You can't be boring. You have to be different. I've never my whole life never wanted to be like anybody else. You know, I always wanted to be who I am. I want to stick out. You know what I mean? It's just be different.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be different to stick out. If you want to get a following, you can't be like everybody else.
What do you think holds you back from that next level that you want to be at?
My job, you know, my regular job, because that takes up a lot of time. If I had only my time to do my business and social media and stuff like that, I think I could build way bigger following, way more stuff. Like you got to post a ton. I mean, it's tough. Yeah. You got to post a ton. Like you said, Juji, he fucking writes his stuff down. He gives game plans it. You know, I mean, it's just a lot of work. You know, and then when you got a full-time job and a family, I mean, and then on top of that, I got to train, and then you got to fucking do your social media. You got to do everything else. That and you know, also like having people record for you. Like I said, building a YouTube or anything else. I mean, you got to have other people do it. I can't do it. You know, I'm training. I don't even want to I don't even want to record, but you have to record.
But see, that gets to another level though, because now you got to pay that person.
That's
so now
true.
if you hire somebody to do that,
Yeah.
now the monetization becomes a whole nother game.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Now it has to monetize and monetize what that person is going to cost.
And I don't know when I'm going to do stuff because my schedule changes all the time on top of that. So it makes it even harder. So it's just pretty much all that in a nutshell. But yeah, definitely I'd like to grow my YouTube bigger. I think YouTube is big, and I think it's going to keep getting bigger and always be big.
Yeah.
But it's a lot harder to develop a YouTube page than it is Instagram. Instagram's easy. I put my phone over there. You record your bench, or record this, or record you doing something dumb for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It takes 2 minutes to edit. Boom, it's on the internet, and it's fucking 800,000 people see it.
Well, shorts are now another story.
That's true. Yeah,
right?
that's why I put shorts up there all the
Yeah.
time. That's why I grew a bigger following on YouTube.
Yeah.
But making a YouTube, people want to see it like actually be professional somewhat.
Yeah.
Instagram, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like raw footage is sometimes better than footage that you like take. I've taken time to like really do it up real good and look nice.
Yeah.
People shit on it. They just want that raw footage, you know.
Yeah.
That's
you know, you
always
can't
there.
take your phone and like turn it to horizontal and film it that way, and there's your YouTube.
What?
So like, here's vertical, right?
Yeah, right.
Just
yeah.
there.
That's true. Yeah, right.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, well, I'm very bad at thinking.
But then the problem becomes, fuck, should it be this way?
Oh, I know.
This
Yeah,
way?
that's another thing that's going on now. Because I used to always film.
Yeah,
Is that horizontal?
Yeah.
And then vertical?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, well, I got to film vertically because I got to do fucking shorts and you got to do the fucking reels and everything else, you know? So
You just need 2 phones.
that's the next step. Yeah. You got to get 2 phones. You want one of these beers?
No.
All right.
That I've never acquired a taste for it. So even since when I was younger.
Well, yeah, when you're younger, it don't taste very
like
good.
Shit.
Well,
and even when I was older, it's terrible.
Well, I mean, what are you
why
drinking?
Why would anybody drink that shit?
Well, it makes you feel good, for
Yeah.
one. That's good. Ice cold.
Yeah.
Very good, especially if you work all day and you have a cold beer. That tastes real good.
Just so good a soda.
No, I don't drink soda. I never drink a soda. I haven't drank a soda. Maybe a diet Dr. Pepper with vodka. I've never drank like a regular soda.
Yeah.
No, when you get older, like Arnold said, you drink beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's cold. That's the only reason that you've given me right now.
Oh, it makes you feel good.
Well, it
That
makes
was reason
you feel
2.
good, right.
It's cold. It makes you feel good. Geez, I don't know. I guess that's it. I guess you're right. Maybe I'm going to stop drinking. This is the last beer I'm going to have.
Well, then why Miller Lite?
Less carbs, less calories. Now, I got to maintain a physique here, man.
Yeah.
Can't be drinking Bud Heavy or something, Budweiser.
Yeah. Now, so what if Old Milwaukee gives you the sponsorship?
I'm going with Old Milwaukee. I think our Hams reached out to me, or some old company reached out to me once a couple years ago. I thought it was Hams or something.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they're still around, and they wanted to sponsor me or something. Nothing ever happened out of it.
Yeah.
Miller Lite's contact, and they sent me stuff, but nothing ever came about it. I mean, they sent me like a bag and a T-shirt, and I'm like, even when I was in Muscle and Fitness, I was chugging Miller Lite in the fucking photos. And Muscle and Fitness reached out to him like, hey, listen, we're doing this, and he's drinking your product, blah, blah, blah. And they never reached out back to him. So I kind of got upset with Miller Lite, and I said I was going to switch, and then I didn't.
Well,
I'm still drinking Miller Lite.
Obviously, it's here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I still drink Miller Lite. But, yeah, less carbs, less calories,
What would be a misconception people have about you?
I drink beer every day.
Yes.
That's not true. Yeah, I can't look like this drinking beer every day. It's physically impossible, So, like I said before, usually if I drink during the week, I usually drink like a mixed drink or two, right?
And
what
I
have to train. That'd be usually Tito's and Diet Dr. Pepper. I like that a lot.
Wait a minute, I missed something. The Cheetos. So you drink
Tito's vodka.
Oh, okay.
Not Cheetos.
I'm like Cheetos,
No,
man.
no,
What the fuck are you talking
Cheetos.
about?
It would be
Like now
Tito's.
you're talking my food.
Yeah, I like Flaming Hot Cheetos is good too. It's usually after I drink all the beer.
Yeah.
Usually like Tito's and Diet Dr. Pepper. I call it coffee.
Okay.
I drink that. And then like the weekend, especially like during the summer at events, if I'm on vacation, I'm drinking beer. I love beer. But you can't drink beer all the time, or it affects like your lifting, obviously, and everything else. But you can drink beer. Obviously, I drink beer. I drink a lot of beer. But during the week, I'm very strict. Usually with my diet, my training. I don't let it disrupt my training at all. And I think I got that from a young age. My dad always said, training comes first. You fucking do your training, you do everything else, and then you have fun. So I always train. That's your light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of your tunnel is a beer, nice cold beer.
Yeah.
So you do your job, and then you drink beer. So even if I'm like a Saturday or whatever my weekend is, I'm training always first. I never skip training to drink. So training comes first, then the drinking comes.
And then how many beers on average per week?
Shit,
It
could be anywhere from
let's take your 2 days off work out. So
I would say just a handful of beers.
All right, so
or a couple mixed drinks, handful of beers during the week, during my work week.
Yeah.
I don't drink that often. Just depends.
Yeah.
It depends on an average week of my work week. I don't drink that often at all.
There's a lot you got going on.
Yeah.
Like you got a full-time
It's just
job, a
so
family.
much,
There's a lot of shit.
So that's why, like, at the end of the night when I'm, done all my shit, done my training, went to work, put the kids to bed and shit like that, I'll have a couple drinks or something, maybe.
Yeah.
It just depends on the day.
Yeah.
Well,
as your business is growing too, that's also cutting into your beer time during the week.
Yes, big time. So my wife, she runs most of the business. Especially the last 2 weeks. She lives in the shop. She's been in the shop this morning since 8 o'clock till she go. The kids come home from school, hangs out with the kids. 8 p.m. puts the kids to bed. She's back in the shop till like 2 a.m.
Oh, the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, yeah.
All that, and then all the selling of the testicle shirts. She's
Okay,
been getting upset.
yeah,
She's like, "Fuck, so many more."
Well, she got to
so
make
many
them
more.
too, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
So she's got to make them all, then ship them all. We were stocked for the Black Friday sale, pretty good, and then the testicle stuff comes out, and then it's just like a Black Friday sale. Pretty much the last couple of days is the same thing. So yeah, she does all that. I don't do much of that. I'm usually the guy promoting it, doing the idiot stuff, and she does the smart stuff. So it works out pretty good. Yeah.
Now on the weekend, the obviously the drinking's going to increase, but for the entrepreneurs out there that are in the same boat, how much of your weekend involves it's hard to say it's work, right? Because
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I wake up, on my day off, and I immediately start working.
Yeah.
I work till noon on my day off. Every Monday, right now I have Mondays and Tuesdays off. So every Monday morning I'll work till noon. And then after noon, that's just on the computer, right? And then after noon, I usually train. We train at about noon or 1 o'clock. And then, we got to make all your posts. You got to make all your bullshit. You got to think of an idea for a video. Try to do all that. And then you got to promote your products on top of that, or write an email, or do this or do that. So it's a lot of that, too. My days off are a lot, and then working with the manufacturers to make the supplements and all that bullshit. Sometimes that's a pain in the ass. So it's a lot of that as well, So, and then at night, usually, and depending, you let loose.
Yeah.
Drink your beer, have a good time, eat some pizza. My favorite food's pizza and beer. I wish I could eat that every day. I wish I could do that every day. But, I'd look like a complete slob if I did. So, you got to limit it. I love Jack's Pizza. You ever had that? It's a Midwest thing, I think. Or maybe it's an Illinois, Wisconsin thing. I tried to get a Jack sponsorship. It's a good thing they didn't give me one, though. It's just I have a pizzazz. It spins.
Yeah.
And, I throw a frozen pizza.
Yeah.
I make frozen pizzas, drink beer. There's nothing better than that.
No,
on a cold winter night, what's better than a cold beer and a warm Jack's Pizza?
Well, anything that's food that's sponsored is going to be a good thing. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. Because it's less money.
Another beer you mind?
No.
All right.
You're all good.
Yeah, no, Icon Meals is good, too. They sponsor me. They've been sponsors of mine for years, and they always send me my meals out every week, and that helps a lot,
Yeah.
Before that, I used to have to always make my meals, make pounds of rice and pounds of meat and whatever, cups of rice, pounds of meat. But since Icon Meals has sponsored me for the last 5, 6, 7, whatever it's been, they help a ton. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Pop it in 2 minutes. So that's what I got in here. Today I've already eaten 2 Icon Meals, pop them in the microwave, good to go. Every time I travel, Icon Meals and beer.
Yeah. With your training now, is it all bench related, or are you still focusing on the squat bench?
No, I train everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So a lot of people don't train shoulders like on their own day. I always have trained shoulders on my own day. I think a strong shoulders always equal a strong bench. Some people don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But I always love, I've overhead pressed heavy since I can remember.
Yeah.
Like last week we were doing, somewhere in the 300-pound range for reps of seated overhead pressing. I love standing overhead pressing as well. And then we do like a light bench that day too, like a speed bench or a close grip banded bench, something like that.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday's like a back day. Deadlifts, back, stuff like that. Wednesday off or a light leg workout. Thursday is always Thursday night's my bench night. That's bench night in America, we call it.
Yeah. So that's the main day.
That's the main day. That's the big. That's when everybody comes. It's bench night. And then Saturday's usually like squats, legs, all that shit. So, and then maybe arms here or there thrown in somewhere in there. Maybe a Sunday, Friday, whatever.
Any aspirations to compete again, or how do you?
Oh, like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I want to bench 500 pounds on the platform again. That's biggest goal I will have. I will take my singlet off. I will throw it on the bench, and I'll be done. That's it. 500 pounds with 2 reattached pec tendons, on the platform. And I'm very close to doing it again. And I'm 40 years old now.
Yeah.
So it makes it even tougher, coming back from 2 pec tendon reattachments.
Yeah.
At an older age. And then at 220 pounds as well.
Where do you plant that? Like, because it's a goal of yours, right? Or it's an objective. So you putting it that by end of next year, spring.
I like to do it by the summer.
All right. So at some point in time, you need to start training for it.
Getting real serious.
Yeah. How long or how far out is that?
Probably 6 months.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm right around the 470 range maybe right now.
Yeah.
I smoked like 450 or whatever it was today. Absolutely smoked it.
Yeah.
I feel super strong. I could probably hit 485 today, I bet.
So where
probably 15 pounds off.
Where would you want to be 6 months out? You see what I'm saying?
6 months out, I'd be hitting 500 pounds easily.
Okay.
In the weight room.
Yeah.
Before I even went to the event.
Okay.
440, I should be able to do 3-4 times.
Then what's that 6 months look for training for the event?
A lot of heavy triceps.
Yeah.
That's my weak point.
Well, I just said, do you back the weight down?
Back it down, yeah.
Do you start at 8s or how do you?
No, I like, 5s or 7s.
Okay.
Back it down, a lot of volume. Probably about 75, 80% range.
So you're going to linearly peak into this
that's
thing.
I've always done.
Right.
Linear, what is it? Linear periodization, whatever the fuck you call it.
Yeah.
I've always done that.
So you're just looking for a benchmark now.
Yep.
Right.
That's it.
So it sounds to me like you want to get that benchmark before the end of the year.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
That's it, man. That's it. That's everything. I'd rather die on the platform than miss 500 pounds.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So you get that indication on January, right? So and
we're ready to rock.
Yeah. So you're, say, 10, 15 pounds off right now.
Yep. I think I got it all then.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll happen, and it's going to be a great day. Can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah. And then how do you go that 6 months without being fucking stupid?
What do you mean stupid?
Stupid with your I mean, you still have to do the things that you have to do, right? I mean,
yeah.
But there's influencer stupid, right?
There's Huck Finn barbell stupid.
There's Huck Flynn, but then there's just stupid, right? Like going to Mark's and trying to bench a fucking PR is probably stupid.
That was
right?
probably stupid, yeah.
Right. So, what's the plan to not be stupid?
Oh, and let's pause. I got to pee.
Yeah.
I will get back to you on that. I got to pee real bad.
Yeah, that works.
That's my
so
fifth
if
beer.
we have super chats, are there any questions that people have? Because as he's taking a piss, I can take somebody's question if they have that, or if there's anything they want me to ask him, I can do that. Or I can just sit here and just talk to my fucking self, because I do that most of my fucking life anyhow. Or I can start talking to my pretend friend, my imaginary friend.
Individuals on medication.
Or I can say, our show is sponsored by MarekHealth.com/TableTalk. They're into hormone optimization and preventative medicine. I'm sorry, I'm just fucking entertaining myself right now. Or you can go to elitefts.com. At some point, the sale's going to change. It's either going to change today or tomorrow. Depends upon when I get time to actually change the sale calendar. What's the next sale going to be? I don't know. I can't tell you because I'm doing a podcast right now and haven't even thought about it. I think our bands are on sale right now, but I'm not too sure. No, our apparel's on sale right now. Buy one, get one 50% off or some shit like that. So if anybody's, on the super chats, tell me what you want to see on sale next. Because that was just, take that off of my decision tree. And we can go with that. I'm trying to think what the hell I need to put on sale next. Yoke bars are still on sale. There's another one. So I've been talking to my pretend friend, my imaginary friend.
I've been holding that off for a while. I shouldn't have had that pre-workout. It could have lasted a little longer.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the pre-workout.
Was it the 6 beers? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the 6 beers at all.
Mm-hmm. All right, where were we?
What's the plan to not be stupid?
As in, like, going too heavy or something, or doing stupid stunts?
I mean, you've been doing this long enough. You know what lines you need to stay within throughout a training cycle.
It's probably adding more bands and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. Not going so heavy as in weight-wise and getting real dumb with it. Maybe probably heavy bands, lighter weight, probably like 70% weight with heavy bands on it. And I never used bands until the last couple of years.
What's a heavy band for you?
I don't even know what they weigh. I put like 3-year bands on there.
Yeah.
I put the red, green, and if I got those.
So doubled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red, green, orange. What did we put like every band on there?
Oh shit, that's a lot.
We put a ton of band tension on there.
Yeah.
And I never use bands, and I suck at bands.
Yeah.
Because the top part of my bench is the weak part of my bench.
Yeah.
When I was at my strongest, I mean, I could put anything off my chest fast. Mm-hmm. It was that sticking point, from that 3/4 of the way up to lockout was where I've had 551 on my that lockout and a meet. 2 or 3 times. And it's just right there. I just couldn't, that's the worst feeling. It feels like somebody's standing on it. Mm-hmm. All I have to do is this, so I try to work on that as much as I can. And
have you changed your grip since you tore your pec?
Yeah, it's in more.
Yeah.
Definitely in more. My grip's probably moved in quite a bit in the last 4 or 5 years because it moved in a little bit after the first one and probably a CH more after the second one.
Yeah.
So
one of the things I had to do with my pecs getting all fucked up is I also had to go to a suicide grip because it allowed me to tuck my elbows more.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because here I can, here I can tuck like this.
Yeah.
So the more I can tuck, the more it keeps it here and takes it off of here.
I'll have to try that.
So you got to build the shit out of your, thumbless grip.
Right, yeah.
But with a full grip, I wasn't able to. You can only tuck so much.
Yeah.
You only turn so much. For me, because these are fucking. I got holes, giant holes. The one was just all muscle, but it starts right here. I mean, it's fucking huge. But anytime this would come out, it goes where there's nothing. There's nothing. It just falls on the delt.
So you like the suicide grip?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah.
So I've a couple guys I've worked out with that are pretty big benchers, bench 550, 600. They've used suicide grips, and I've never tried the suicide grip.
Yeah. No, I never did until after I tore my pecs off. But I had to find a way to take this out.
Yeah.
Or avoid this because
because once that flies out,
there's nothing there. I have nothing there.
I know.
And so I had to find a way to get it in and tuck it in, and then that's where it is. Now that I'm fucking just old and weak and beat up, I go more to a thumbless grip, but I don't touch my chest very often either.
Yeah.
But that might allow you to get your grip out another finger or two.
Okay.
And to be able to tuck it in.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely try that.
Yeah. And you'll feel it way more on your triceps, right? For me, it was like, okay, I can build my triceps.
Yeah.
I can't build that.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
So it's like, give me something I can build. I can work with that.
Yeah. That's the next 6 months. That's all I want to concentrate on is building my triceps more. My shoulders, my chest is very strong. I mean, my shoulders are probably stronger. Probably my strongest lift is my shoulder press.
Yeah.
Out of every lift, I don't know. I've always been really strong in the shoulders. Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe my genetics or what, but I've also overhead pressed like my whole life as well. So
yeah.
And not many people do that. Not many people just have it one day of shoulders. They always put it in like when they bench, they'll throw shoulders in, right?
Yeah, it's like the back end.
Yeah. And they just neglect them, I think, too much. Mm-hmm. It's really heavy pressing 2 days a week, though. I mean, that's kind of tough, too. But, I do, over 300 pounds, like shoulder press, and then I do, a really heavy bench press the same week. But I've been doing that for years.
On that shoulder press day, is that the primary movement? Is the shoulder press, and then the close grips come after that?
Yep. It would be heavy shoulder press right off the bat, and then,
That kind of goes back to how Craig used to train, though, right?
Tarkowski?
Yeah.
Oh, he trained that way? I never trained with him with shoulders like that.
No, I thought he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe that's where I got it from.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm doing that and not even thinking of that.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. It just
Well, he was like one of the first guys to bench 800 pounds in a shirt or something, right?
Yeah, no.
He was bragging that to me, like after I got to know him.
Yeah.
He was like, 94, I benched 800 pounds in his first one or something.
Yeah.
That bullshit. And he brought out this old powerlifting, whatever it was, that magazine.
What was one of the more fucked up, or not fucked up, but one of the more oppressive things that you've seen with the guys that you've trained with over the years? Not stunt wise, but just like holy shit.
I would say probably Lillibridge squatting. Lillibridge and Derek Kendall when they're squatting like near 1,000 pounds together and going back and forth and like competing against each other for that at the same time. That was awesome, seeing two guys go after that. Trying to think what else. When Eric deadlifted 900 pounds, at the time, not many people deadlift 900 pounds, and he started bleeding.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I saw him like pass out after a squat too. I love that. That fired me up. I like people like taking their bodies to the limit. That fires me up. Like when you see a guy train so hard, like, squatting 900 some pounds for reps or something, and then just pass out. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's fucking awesome. I love shit like that. Mm-hmm. Just being around guys that were actually stronger than me. Because at the time I hadn't seen people like were stronger than me for a long time because
then you end up
in my
people.
circle, and then we get some of the strongest guys in the world.
Yeah,
I mean that was awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That pushes you a lot. That's what they always say. Train with somebody that's stronger than you because that's going to push you, right? Mm-hmm. So that definitely pushed me. That was great.
With all the expos and the traveling and all the stuff that you've done, what's one of the, I don't want to say funniest stories, but one of the best times that you've had?
Probably definitely one of my favorite times I ever had was Icon Meals had an event down in Dallas, Texas. They flew me in there, and I literally drank over a case of beer because I had a case of beer with me on ice, and we did a meet and greet. It was all the Icon Meals team.
Yeah.
So I was like partnered, like next to me was like Michael Hearn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there drinking beer. I don't drink beer, right? So he saw me drink, and I paid a guy like $100 to go get me another case of beer, and they did. So I drank part of another case of beer on top of that. And after the event was over, those guys were like, "Hey, we're going to Destination Dallas to train tonight." And I said, "Hey, I'll meet you guys there." Like, yeah, right. You know, they saw me drink like 35 beers or something. So no, I'll be there. So I showed up, and Heath Evans, he's a football player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he spotted me. And I went in there, and I said, "I'm going to bench 500 pounds." Drank 50 beers, going to bench 500 pounds. They're like, bullshit. So I get under the bar, and I started training it. I think 225 or 315. It was like, felt like it was going up sideways. Like when I laid in the bench, like I was off balance, right? Mm-hmm. And I told Heath, I said, I can't do this, man. Fucking, it's like, feels like I'm going sideways. He's like, don't be a pussy, do it. I said, all right, let's go. So then we got to like 455 is my final like practice run. And I got Mike over there. I said, hey, Mike, I want you to cheat me in the steel chair. I'm going to bench 500 pounds, 50 beers. It's all right. So I benched 455. I'm like, I got this all day. And I have no idea if I got it or not. You know, I fucking shrank all fucking day. Mm-hmm. Mike comes, hits me in the head as hard as he can with a chair. Fucking fall backwards. I bench 500 pounds. Fucking drunker in hell. He hits me in the head with a chair again. I slam beers. And, yeah, that was one of the best things. Probably the hardest bench I've ever done in my life, but the funniest, craziest. Drank so many beers, couldn't believe it that I did it, you know. So that was an awesome.
All right, so when you do that, right, so now you're thinking about that.
Yeah.
Right? And then your goal, right?
Oh, I know. Now it's the bench 500. I bench 500 pounds like, 4 years ago, just drunker than hell, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Age catches up with you and too many pec tendon recoveries.
Yeah, it's like, how's that sit with you? Because it's like,
I know it sucks, man. Yeah, there's a guy I train with, his cowboy Cam, and he's just a little bit stronger on the bench than me, and he rubs it in every day because I was always fucking 75 pounds stronger than him in the bench constantly, all the time. And he's like, you fucking old man, you pussy. You cocksucker. I'm going to get you, man. I'll be back. I'll be back. Just trust me. I'll be back. He benches like, 15 more pounds than me in training or something, and I just get so pissed, But I need that, You need that push.
Any aspirations for a total, though?
No, I don't. I don't think ever since I tore my hamstring, I have not pushed it past 700 pounds. I don't got no pop out of the hole. I don't know. It just I still squat. I do a lot of I bought a safety squat bar from you guys when right when I tore my pec tendon the second time. I immediately bought one from you guys, and that's what I trained with. I do a lot of safety squat bars. I go up to like 585, 600. Deadlifts I pushed, 650 recently, but I don't know. You never know. Maybe. I don't push those as much as I would push a bench press. Yeah. Unless I'm competing, Yeah. I do them. I love to do them. I love training. I love all aspects of training. But, no, I don't. My favorite thing's the bench. I love bench. It's upper body business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. When you think of your content creation, do you try to integrate it with your training? For instance, when I speak to Juji, it's like, okay, I do this stuff during this time of the year, this stuff during this time of the year. Or is it just, fuck it, let's just go?
Oh, as in training or as in me doing videos?
Well, Juji's a little bit different, right? Because he does all these like
poly,
phase.
Whatever he is.
Yeah, so he's got these different phases, but the way he plans his content for the year is kind of based upon how his training.
Speaking of that idiot Juji, I asked him. I said, "Hey, what do I need to see out in, when I go to Lead FTS?
Yeah,
what I need to do, what I need to see, what should I be?" He goes, "Dude, it's London, Ohio. You're just going to Lead. That's all that's out there."
Yeah, so, I told you it's fucking bump up.
That was hilarious. Yeah, because I asked him, so what I need to see, where I need to go. He goes, there's nothing out there. It's London, Ohio.
Yeah.
I love it. That's funnier now.
So do you think, like, as let's say here's when this meet's going to be.
Right.
Do you have certain content ideas that will happen closer?
Oh, no. All right. There's
so they're separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. Like I said before, training comes first, right? And then, like, if we're going to do a dumb video or if I'm going to do a whatever, that's always at the end. So I would never do a dumb video before I train, right? So training is first, and then if I think of a video, we do the video, and then we put it on Instagram, right? That's how it always has been. That's how we've always done it.
Yeah.
I think the only time, like, there's times, like, obviously when I ice skated deadlifted 500-pound on ice skates when it was below zero. Well, yeah, we took weights from the gym, went to an ice rink. Well, that's not training. Like, but if we're in a gym, we train and then we do a video. So training always comes first. Training comes first before dumb videos. Training comes first before drinking beer. Like I trained today. Now I drink beer. I didn't drink beer while I was training. Once in a while, I might drink a beer or two when I'm training for a video. But
yeah, you beer bong. You know,
that was for a video though.
Yeah. But that's why you're training.
Yeah, well, that's true. You know, my training to look good naked was why I started training, to be better at football. You know? Do you know a guy named Barzine? I can't remember his last name. He was in the video with me that when I benched 500 pounds with the beer bong, he was spotting me.
Yes, I know the name.
Yeah.
If I saw I would know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd that whole idea come about?
Well, that was when I was up in a tower, and I put those two together. Like,
yeah. Okay.
You know,
so that was the first one.
That was one of the first. Yeah, one of the first ones. That, and then I thought of rollerblades and squatting 500 pounds.
So how did that first one hit?
It hit pretty good, but not like the others hit.
Yeah.
Like it started going good, and then I rollerbladed, squatted 500 pounds on rollerblades, and then this one guy said something to me on the internet. Said, this guy T. Cummings, he says, I don't rollerblade in the weight room or some bullshit. And I said, fuck you, you cocksucker. Something like that. And then, anyways, we ended up competing at the animal cage that year.
Yeah.
And we deadlifted, which deadlift that's my worst lift probably.
Yeah, yeah.
But I still deadlifted like 765 out there. We ended up tying. And anyways, that's how that all that stuff. Sometimes people will shit on that, right? Oh, you just see me. All he does is like, he's on rollerblades. He doesn't do anything. He's not a real powerlifter. He's not this. Huh? I never understood that.
No, I don't either. That's weird to me because, like, what real powerlifter is going to deadlift on rollerblades? You know?
Yeah, right.
It's not like something you're going to do in a meet. Like, so just the fact that you're rolling up on rollerblades kind of tells you that this isn't like a real powerlifting video.
Right. Some people are just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but they like I said before, they think like all I do is like stupid stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you can't just all do stupid stuff. That's just like at the end.
Yeah, but let me throw this at you, right? So you got that community that's gonna, rip you for what you're doing, right? Now here you're at a trade show, you're somewhere like that. How many times have somebody from that community come to you and
they're like your best friend
and say, no, not that, but say, look, how do you think I could get my views up?
Oh yeah, that too, 100%.
It's
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, so go ahead and criticize and rip my ass,
right?
But then ask me how you can increase your following.
Exactly. No, 100, that's happened before many times.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna grab another beer if you mind.
Yeah, that's the nature of the internet. So it's that. I guess that's another discussion there. How have you learned how to curate the comments and not let them fuck you up?
Yeah, so anybody's opinion about me never mattered forever. I don't give a fuck what you think. It would never bother me. If you don't like me, it doesn't bother me. I know I'm strong and you're weak. I'm what everybody here wants to be like, and you're fucking pathetic, right? I got that from Revenge of the Nerds. So no, I just it's in one ear, out the other. It never bothered me. Most of any guy that writes shit online, like a negative comment, they have nothing going on. I've never gone on somebody's page and said something bad about somebody because I don't give a fuck. If I don't like it, I just scroll through it. You know what I mean? I just don't have the time to badmouth somebody. Yeah, so it doesn't bother me at all. You could fucking say anything about me. Obviously, where I work, people say bad stuff about me all the time, and it doesn't bother me at all. It makes me laugh.
Well, what's interesting is you just kind of answered the whole thing is, if you don't care, you're just going to just scroll past
right.
it, or you're just not even aware of it to begin with.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody stops and posts, obviously they're expressing the fact that they give a fuck.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Yes. So you obviously care.
Yeah. And then they'll say later in the comments, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. After they've gone through 20 comments of people arguing with them.
Yeah.
No, it's, you're always going to have haters. You're always going to have people that don't like it, but there's a million other people that love you.
Yeah.
So whatever, it just comes with the territory.
How do you know then if because you can make Instagram's a weird one, right? Because you can be popular then just not for
Right.
some reason,
Yeah.
or have followers that just not, and then you got to figure out, is this something that you posted? Is this just you're not popular anymore?
I think it's
How
all
do you- yeah.
Instagram runs all that. You know,
Yeah.
you just got to keep going. You don't stop.
Yeah.
You know, you just keep doing what you do.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll come out of it. Like that's what happened to me. You know, I get a ton of followers, and all of a sudden, you know, everybody's seeing my posts, and all of a sudden it goes like way less. Everything's way less. Then
Yeah.
you're losing followers. Like, man, whatever. I'm not doing anything different.
Yeah.
And now it's gone through the roof again, but I'm doing the exact same shit. So you just got to keep going no matter what.
Was there anything that you did different to get conversions? 'Cause
Yes.
You can have all these views, but then not sell anything.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
You know, because even with that shirt, right? So
Yeah.
you have that, you have this statement, but how do you get them to actually know you sell that shirt?
I think, well, shirts sell more. The more I wear something, the more it'll sell. And then if you get a good video with a lot of views, like this shirt, right? I put it at the end of the video, buy it here, whatever. It's
All
a
right,
link in
okay.
bio.
So there's a call to action.
Yeah,
there.
you call to action. Yes. So, yeah, just the more you wear something and the more it is seen, obviously, right? You get a million views. They see the shirt. They know where to get it at. That's it. You know? You got to have it. I mean, it's all, like I said, it's all how good your videos do. Like when they're down, you know, you're not selling as much.
Yeah.
And it's tough because Instagram controls that, but it's free, right? So it's a free app. I can't say anything about it. I don't pay for it.
Yeah.
It's just free advertisement. I mean, you know how much you have to pay? Like you put your shit on on TV and a magazine and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That costs tons of money. And you're not even going to get nearly like what's happened in the last couple of days with my website and everything. Man, that would cost me thousands of dollars. Thousands. I don't even know how much. And that was all free. So you got to take the good with the bad. You know?
Yeah. But now you're wondering how you get it to happen again.
Oh yeah, of course.
You got to figure that out.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
be a
always you
fucking-
always got to one up everything. And it's
Yeah,
tough.
Fucking year.
You know, I remember like years ago I made a video. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna ever beat this video. This is the best video ever.
Yeah.
Like I think there's I'm trying to think. Like one video, me and my buddy Callis, I was on a leg press machine. It's actually like a what do you call those GIFs? It's on the Apple or whatever, the phone. It's me leg pressing my buddy Callis. It's probably like 4 plates on each side of the leg press, and I'm incline benching 315, and he has 405 pounds on his back, and I'm doing the leg press at the same time while he's squatting down and going back up, and I'm pressing it. That was like 5 years ago. I've never seen a video like that, and that video was awesome. And I'm like, man, and I just thought of it and went to the gym.
Yeah.
Said, hey, Tom, we're both headed to the gym to train. I said, hey, I got a great idea today.
So how's that unfold? Okay, so it's like, hey Tom, I got this great
Yeah,
idea.
he's like,
today.
oh God, that's dumber than fuck. I don't want
Yeah.
to do it, and I'll have to talk him into it or something. You know what I mean?
But how? Okay, so now you're on the leg press. How's the 315 get there?
I have spotters. They come and
Okay.
give it to me.
Yeah.
Like so Tom would get, yeah, that's a funny part. So Tom he'd get on the leg press machine and have 2 or 3 guys help him with the weight, get it on his back. Then they give me the bar, and then they pull the things for me, right? And now I don't know if I could do it. I've never done this before. So fuck, he could die. If he fell forward, he could kill me.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, that was a real dangerous video, but it happened to work out. But he was really unstable. I mean, it was bad. If you look at the video, his legs are shaking. I mean, he's a really good squatter too, so I trusted him. And yeah, as I was going down, I mean, it was very difficult, but it looks awesome, and it turned out to be a great video. You know, it could have been terrible. It could have went way
No, it
awry.
could've been really
Could have
bad.
been
I mean,
catastrophic. We could have
yeah.
both died.
Yeah, you just
but man,
think about
it
it.
worked out so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, I got a great idea for a video. Let's do it.
Yeah. So then,
And then we do it.
well, you got to sell somebody on it then.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, Tom helped. He would get in. If I thought there was a good video, he would usually do it. Like there's some guys that are like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But when they're saying, hey, I don't think it's a good idea, then I'm like, this is gonna be good. When they say
All
that,
right,
you
well,
know it's gonna be
What are
good.
the ideas where they've said, oh hell no?
Oh geez. So I was talking about Jacked and Homeless earlier. He would do anything. You say, hey, you want to do this? Okay. He would never say no. I said, hey, I got a great idea. I'm going to put a cinder block on my head. I saw a wrestler do this in the 1960s or 70s. I saw it on the internet. I'm going to put a cinder block on my head, and you're going to fucking take a sledgehammer and break it over my head. He goes, I'm not doing that. That's fucking dumb. It's going to get hurt. I said, that's great. I said, this is great. If you think it's dumb, this is going to be a great video. So he goes, we get out there, and he goes, if I'm going to do this, put this wrist wrap in your mouth so I don't break your teeth out. I said, all right, let's go. I bite down on the wrist wrap. He takes a sledgehammer and fucking hits me over the head with it.
Yeah.
Bam! Shatters it. I do 225 for like 50 reps. It was a great video.
Yeah.
So I loved it. Like shit like that. Like that was a huge video. When somebody that's really dumb says it's dumb, I know it's going to take off.
Well, what are the ones that they just said no, not at all, and it never happened?
Oh, jeez. I don't think there's been any. I really don't. I think I've done every one besides the one where I lit myself on fire because I don't have an actual stuntman to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any ones that we tried to attempt that we couldn't do. That was too hard. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, no. Everything I've done, everything I thought of that I think I've done or attempted it and failed, and it's been on the internet. Either way, it's good. You know, like when there's a great video where I waterboarded. I got waterboarded while benching like 400 pounds or something, right? And I've never been waterboarded. I had no idea what it was like. So they tied a shirt around my head, and they poured water and alcohol like down my face. And I did it, and I benched it a couple times, and I fucking got up, and it was fucking scary, dude. It was tough. Like, I couldn't breathe at all. I was like, I said, I'm never doing that again. Holy fuck, that was crazy. And then I look at the video, and it's by a bad angle, and you can't even see it. Like, fuck, we got to do it again. And I did it again. And I did it again. And it sucked, man.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And it is really hard to think of dumb videos. You know what I mean? Like, it's, and I'm an idiot, and I think of a lot of dumb stuff, but, you know, it is hard to think of it. Most of the time I'm drinking, yeah, or at work, and I write them down.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And they involve drinking.
Yeah, most of the time. Most of the time it involves drinking. If it's really dumb, a lot of times we'll be drinking and we'll think of something real dumb too. You know, your best ideas come while drinking. That's another good reason to drink. Good ideas come from drinking alcohol.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right?
Such as being waterboarded while you bench press. That's a fucking great
I got
idea.
on a plane like 2 hours later. That's crazy.
And breaking a center block over your head with a sledgehammer. These are all spectacular.
That was
ideas.
a great video idea.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think I should do? You got any video requests?
I'm thinking, man, because what I'm seeing is if you've never had the point where somebody's like, hell no.
Yeah.
Right? Then that means there's a lot of ground that's not covered.
Yeah.
Right? Because just think training-wise. Like, you go back to when you were younger training, and you're like, man, we should try to do this.
Yeah.
And then you would do it. And you're like, oh, we should probably do that. Like, fuck that. No way.
No
man.
way.
Not
I ain't doing that.
Shit. Like, squat 315 for 80.
Yeah.
No. Fuck
No,
no.
I need that.
You know.
That's what I said. If somebody says no way in hell, that's when it's going to be good.
Well, does that work the same way for you as say it's a training thing where just in my mind just now when I thought, you know, 315 for 80, I'm like, no, you can't do that in one fucking roll, but you could do it in a whole fucking training day.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you're like, no, I don't want to do that, then in my brain, I'd be like, what are you, a fucking push? You don't
No,
want to do it.
I'm going to do it.
Does that happen with these things that you're talking
All
about?
the time.
Too?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. When we did that stupid video with the bike, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I never jumped anything before. So I wasn't comfortable doing it. And I said, hey, let's just do a dry run real quick. I'm going to go real slow. And one of my friends goes, what? Tom Finn, I know never fucking does dry runs. Fuck that. I said, you're right. Fuck it. Let's go. And I did it, a regular run, and it ended up terrible. So, yeah, there's shit like that.
Now, none of these have actually broken a body part.
Oh, except for the cutting the finger off.
Well, cutting the finger off, but that's...
Other than that, no. The only times I've actually gotten really hurt has been from actually just training.
See what I'm saying? There's so much more ground.
Yeah, there is, right? There's a ton more ground.
That I'm kind of disappointed I'm not seeing right now.
I know. I'm going to go outside right now and get run over by a car while bench pressing 500 pounds.
Yeah, I'm like, you start bouncing shit off your face.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, yeah, I like
crap
that too.
Like that.
Yeah.
Now, when you see some of the other stunts that people are doing, because it actually has died down a little bit, where it's picking up for a while.
Yeah.
Like, let's, bench press a piano or leg press a piano. I mean, some of them, it got to the point for me, I just started fucking not even looking at them
Yeah.
anymore,
There's some of the stuff.
Stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think, and there's stuff that I see on the internet that I did like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I just did this 6 years ago, man. This is old stuff. So,
But now there's a whole, you see what I'm saying? There's a whole
I know.
bunch, right?
Yeah.
That are doing that.
Right.
And some of them are like freaky ass shit, and you don't, like, there's no way that weight is real.
Oh, yeah, I know.
No
Yeah.
Fucking way.
Right. Like
Yeah.
a guy. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I've seen stuff on the internet. I don't know.
But
Like-
see, now if they were drinking beer, it would be better.
100%.
Yeah,
Then I would watch it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I would 100% watch it.
that's like a lacking component, because what I started to see with all those things, and I did reactions. I remember this because I did reactions to a couple of them from the very beginning, because
Right.
I'm like, okay. Then it's like, fuck, this is all I see anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, this is old.
Yes,
You
I
know?
agree. I haven't done that many crazy videos like that in a while. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last one I've done that was. A lot of them have been more promos and stuff, you know, because that's just what's selling.
Yeah.
You know, like cutting promos. I love cutting promos. Like I said before, you know, pro
But it's
wrestling
different.
stuff.
Like, because if everybody else is following this path over here,
You got to go a different path.
yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you don't want to be like everybody else. That's what I always said. You want to be different, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be like everybody else.
And
So-
even when you talked about the leg press squat thing, I haven't seen that one of yours. But when I saw,
I've seen that like 1,000 times now, and we
Yeah.
started that. That was so long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a GIF or whatever you call that for like fucking 5 years.
I think I saw it on your channel. You have a greatest hits thing.
Yeah.
So I was watching through there. I'm like, fuck, that looks old.
Oh, it's super old.
I'm like, this is
we
all
did that.
grainy and shit?
2014 or something.
I'm like, this is the same crap I quit watching a
Yes.
year ago because everybody was
I know
doing
it. So
it.
we were way ahead of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're ahead of the time now. Mm-hmm. Right? You just got to walk through the woods drinking beer.
Exactly. That's what I do. Naked. Yeah. On the sun. What do they say? The sun and the earth and the wind and the fire and my testicles and my asshole is what he says, right? Something like
I
that.
don't know about the asshole thing.
That's what he was saying today. I saw that.
There's a tenet about the asshole.
Something about sun in your asshole and your balls or something.
I don't pay that much attention.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's,
Well, I'm a real liver king, so you know.
yeah. I mean, here and there, you know, and then, but I did see your thing, and that was funny, man, because I'm watching, because you see that the whole thing explode, right? You can't not see it.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I know
'Cause
it's
fucking
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And then everybody's got the reaction and all this
Yeah.
reaction. It's like, I'm so fucking tired of.
Same here.
You know, it's like, fuck, just stop already.
Yeah.
And then your thing is like, now this is different.
Yeah, this
Like,
is different
what
and
it
funny.
should be.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, this is good.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I wanted to convey, you know. And I mean, it worked out great.
Yeah.
So that's funny as shit. And all that stuff's funny.
Yeah.
It's all. I mean, that guy. I don't know. He should have. He came out and said he lied and he apologizes. To apologize to who? Why would he apologize? I don't apologize for shit. Right? Why didn't you just come out and say, "Hey, I own a TRT company and this is what I'm doing, and now I'm going to sell you this, and this is the Liver King special, and it's going to cost you this, and now he's going to be a millionaire again." I mean, that's what he should have done. I don't know who he's talking to or who his people are, but I would have done that. I said, "Yeah, I've been taking this for a year. I'm testing it out. This is a Huck Finn barbell special. Go to HuckFinnBarbell.com, grab it there,
Yeah, see,
and all this."
yeah,
I mean,
there's different
he
ways
should
you
just
can
win
go.
a different way. I would never apologize for anything.
Yeah.
I would have never. I don't know. I think it is all wrong, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's him.
Well, the thing with there's a lot of opinions I've seen that people
Oh,
have
yeah, they're
about it,
everywhere.
right? And they're all over the place, and I don't really give a fuck one way or another. I didn't give a fuck one way or another to begin with. You know, so it's like, oh, so now you want my opinion when I didn't give a fuck to begin with?
Right.
So it doesn't make any difference. But, you know, you watch through all these things, and it's, you know, the one thing that he said during the apology, which was weird, you
Yeah.
know, because to me that was more marketing.
Well, I watched that apology.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
did.
watched it too,
Yeah.
and it was more because like drama. I look at it different ways. I'm like, okay, from a business person, like how would my PR person?
That's what I looked at it
advisor-
the same way. That's why I said that's what you should have done.
Yeah, how would my PR guy advise this?
Right.
And it was like, yeah, it's totally not. This is marketing. This isn't PR.
Yeah.
You know, it's that type of thing. And but it was. Then I start thinking, okay, what other really fucking famous people, like way more famous than Liver King, do we all know are probably taking shit?
Yeah, mostly
But
actors and
never
everybody.
fucking field the question. It's
No.
not like you can dodge it.
Right.
You know, that people like the Liver King or whatever, they can't.
Well,
sit
that's
there.
his problem. He came out and said he got that way just by eating testicles in his brand.
Yeah.
That made his brand look bad.
But he could have dodged.
He could have
the
easily
question
dodged it.
from the
I'm on
very
TRT.
beginning.
Whatever.
You know,
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, we all dodged for years and years and years and years. It's just what you did. The only reason people don't dodge it anymore is because it's A, more socially acceptable. B, you know,
Liver King takes it.
well, there's another. I mean, you've been around this stuff for a long time. There's another variable here that it always doesn't get fucking mentioned, and that's the legality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of us have prescriptions now,
Yeah.
so I can sit here and talk to you about Marek Labs, Marek Health, and all this other stuff
Yeah.
because it's not fucking illegal. And then they'll throw out that, well, no, but police don't really care. I'm like, okay, listen, motherfucker. I've been around gyms with fucking anabolics since the mid 80s.
Right.
And I know 10 people that have done prison time for selling fucking anabolics.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that it doesn't matter.
Yes.
You know, so you see, because now if you watch, you know, all the people that will admit to their use, they're admitting to TRT use.
Right,
And
right.
you know goddamn well.
That's what he said. He goes, I'm going through a professional. I am doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Through a professional with my blood work, with everything. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So even the people that
But
say
he was doing $14,000 worth of growth or some whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm doing $1,400 worth of beer, whatever I said as a joke.
Yeah. So how many people are using stuff that they have their TRT script, but then their black market buddies supplying them with the other 2 grams per week that they're taking.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just a.
And then he started throwing everybody like, well, I'm doing this because there's hundreds of men out there that are dying from suicide or whatever he said. Like, why would he even bring that up? What does that have to do with what's going on?
It's deflection.
Exactly. Huge deflection.
Yeah. So that's kind of not an apology. It's just deflection.
No.
Like I said, I saw that more as marketing and so forth. But
of course,
you know, he'll grow from it.
Any publicity is good publicity, right?
Yeah,
That's what they always say, and it really is. I mean, so many people know his name now, right? Because of that.
Well, more people now.
Yeah.
They hit different.
Hell, I'm getting back fucking kick out of his from my shirts just because Liver King lied. Keep lying. Maybe I'll make more money off of it. You know what I mean? It's
what's the
fucking
next
crazy.
one?
Yeah, what's the next? Liver King on a throne of needles will be the next one. Like Game of Thrones? It'll be Liver King sitting on there with a throne of needles, right? I don't know, something stupid like that.
That's forward thinking, though.
Let me get another beer if you don't mind.
No, you're through 6.
I figure this would be about a 12-pack.
See, I thought the first one you would have bit through it.
No. First one's always the slowest.
Yeah.
You know, I had a very intense workout in here. You know. I mean, you saw me just go through 6 minutes of what is it called? What do we call that? What was it called? Nobody remembers. I call it 6 minutes of hell, but you call it dumbbell.
It was fake battle ropes. Battle bells.
Battle bells. I did 6 minutes of battle bells, and I couldn't catch my breath for 20 minutes.
Yes. So now the beer's helping with that.
Oh, it's helped quite a bit.
This is a good one. Any negative effects that you've noticed from the beer?
Actually,
training?
That's a great question. Absolutely zero. Everything I've gotten in my life was from training and alcohol. A lot of people think alcohol is bad for you, which it is bad, I guess. And it does, ruin certain people's relationships or certain people's lives and everything else, But for me, it's helped a ton. It's helped me grow a brand. It's helped me meet my wife. It's helped me make all the money I've gotten. It's gone the opposite than what, most people would think, right? So for alcohol has helped me build a brand, make money, meet my wife, do everything in my life is revolved around alcohol and training. So it's helped me tremendously. I don't think there's any really bad. My liver might be bad, but other than that, I mean, a liver king.
Yeah.
But everything else has been great.
But do you get it checked?
No,
blood work checked?
I don't believe in that. Right? Just like liver king, I don't believe in that shit.
But yet his labs popped up.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Yeah, so he doesn't believe
in
it.
That's what then all of a sudden his labs popped up, man. No, I honestly think most
you've had
people
surgeries, right? So there's
I've had stuff done, obviously, but blood dump. But no, alcohol has helped me in life more than it's hurt me, big time. You can't drink every day. Like, can't let alcohol control your life, but you can have fun with alcohol. That's what I try to do.
Isn't the other statement that moderation is,
oh, that's a big thing, right?
Life, right?
And that's hard.
But yours just like, no, that's not right.
Oh man, moderation sometimes just goes right out the window. You start drinking beer and you just lose count. You drink like I said, 35 beers at bench press. It's just some days you drink 30 beers, some days you don't drink any.
Yeah, so that's healthier in your opinion than just a couple a day.
They don't think so. You know, the gurus, the fitness experts, the doctors, they don't think that's healthy at all. But
being the real liver king.
You know, being the real liver king is everything, brother. You know what I mean? So I don't believe in the gurus, the fitness experts, right? They would have me pinned as like, I don't know, an alcoholic and a not be able to bench 225 ever again or anything. I'm proving it all wrong. I'm drinking beer. I'm benching close to 500 pounds.
So when you track your macros, how do you track the alcohol?
I don't. Never do. When I'm drinking, I don't track shit. No. You know, I used to track quite a bit, like during the week, and you know, I've had some numbers I'd hit would be like, you know, 250, 300 grams of protein a day. You know, try to get under 80 grams of fat, 70 grams of fat, whatever it was, and then carbs around similar 300, 250, 300, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And when I drink, I would never track anything, but that worked great. You know, I was great shape. You know. I mean, I did that for a year and a half right before I got injured. Yeah. I was tracking real well. And I haven't really tracked since then. But, I you know, once you track stuff, you're pretty good with knowing what to eat. Yeah, yeah. Right? So, you know, doing the similar diet, similar everything, you know. But never track when you're drinking. That's always leads to trouble.
Yeah, if you could get –
Oh, hold on. Yeah, one thing, because people on here that drink, a big thing that I learned – is when you drink, don't eat that many carbs the day of, and don't eat that many carbs the day after. Keep your carbs.
So there's like a rule to this now?
I heard that from somebody.
This
fucking expert that was, I can't remember his name. He was with Hybrid. He was a fitness, Francisco. He told me, he gave me some fucking, I don't know, science project with a note. He said, the carbohydrates will make you fat the day you drink it the day after, something like that. So I cut my carbs down the day before and day after, or day of and day after.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you drink, cut your carbs down under 100 grams that day and under 100 grams the next day, and then go back to normal. That works. That's science.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get that. It sounds like some bro science bullshit.
That's science, I know.
If it works,
trust me, my dad is a television repairman.
Yeah.
He knows.
If you could get fucking drunk with anybody, current, past, present.
Steve Austin. Yeah, wow. I've actually drank with Steve Austin once. I was on his podcast, and he was my hero when I was a kid. Like, growing up, and obviously, Steve Austin was awesome. You know, he was the man. And then I got to be on his podcast. I flew out to his house in Marina Del Rey and went on his podcast. And I've never been, like, I've met a lot of people in the fitness industry and, you know, a lot of famous people, everything. And I've never been really nervous around anybody. And I was kind of nervous going to his house. Chris Bell, I stayed at his house, and he drove me over there. And I remember knocking on his door, and I could see through the window Steve walking towards me. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's Steve Austin. And we were 5 minutes late, too. And he goes, you're the first motherfucker ever be late to my podcast. I said, oh, fuck. You want me to do push-ups right now? And he looked at me and fucking kept walking. I'm like, oh, fuck, Chris, we're fucked. And, no, I mean, it turned out to be great. It was awesome. And I remember sitting across the table from him, and I was locking eyes with him. And I'm like, I'm the alpha in this room, you know, but that's Steve Austin. I'm not even paying attention to what he's saying. Yeah. So it was just crazy, you know, to be interviewed by Steve Austin. And I drank all of his beer. And then he had that broken skull beer. He had IPA. Yeah. And then he was out of beer. And I said, whoa. And my wife was there, too. I said, my wife keeps beer in her purse, Steve. Karen, you got any beer? She pulls out a six-pack because we packed a six-pack in her fucking purse just in case. And she had a six-pack in her purse, and we drank the beer there, too. And then he drove us to the bar, and that was the last time I seen him in person. But that was a great interview. It was great. It was awesome, you know, to drink beer with Steve Austin and everything. You know, growing up, seeing Steve Austin drinking beer and being a wild man, and then to, you know, actually talk to him. And I talked to him. I mean, I was there for like 6 hours. Yeah. So I actually talked to him like as a, you know, in person, not on the air and everything too. Yeah. He was a great dude. He's just like, you know, like your next door neighbor or something. He's the same guy. He wasn't like some guy that was like, you know, too good for you or something. You know what I mean? So that was awesome. I taste good.
I'm going to ask the question again, but it's going to be for somebody that you haven't drank a beer with or gotten drunk with.
Oh, shit. So somebody that I haven't, I would say you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. You got to drink a beer with me.
No, dude, I would be fucking hammered in 2 beers.
One beer? Well, get him one beer, huh? When's the last time you had a beer?
Oh, fuck.
Foreign, bring that case in.
How long has it been? two decades ago.
I only got 2 beers left. Bring some more beer in. Yeah, I just drank 8 of beers. Come on. You haven't? I got 2 beers left in here, ice cold. Get some more in here. You want one beer?
Yeah, I'll try one. It's going to taste
He's
like
going to try one.
shit.
Hey, have you ever seen that movie Old School? Where Will Ferrell goes, I'm going to have one. I'm going to have one.
Yeah.
And then he has one, then he goes streaking.
Yeah.
That's going to be you streaking through London, Ohio tonight. How's it taste?
That's fucking gross.
I told you it was good.
That's fucking gross.
No way. He's addicted.
No, that is fucking
Listen, the
terrible.
first sip's going to be kind of bad. The second,
Yeah, fuck.
second sip will be better, right?
Yeah, that's the same fucking thing that people tell me with weed and shit. No, that's just like all bad.
What's
it's
it
like
taste
all
like?
bad.
Oh, what does it taste like? What do you think?
Rust?
Rust?
Yeah.
That was the last thing I thought.
No, it tastes like rust.
It's cold, though, right?
It's
Does it make you
cold.
feel good yet?
No, it tastes like rust.
Well, you got to get past that rust stage. You'll be fine.
Yeah, so what's it take, like
Usually about
4 of them?
Usually about 10 of them.
Like, so that's the trick.
Hey, yeah,
Like
about 10 you'll forget the taste at all.
tasting like shit.
Oh, yeah, you don't even know. You can just switch beers out, give you whatever. You don't even know the difference.
Yeah. So I have a feeling this is probably like the cigar thing, where the cigar thing like sucked for a while. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Then
I saw you
start to-
smoking cigars with a Big J.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine got me started with the cigars in January. And then it's like, man, I don't know, it was a process.
Right, it is. No,
I
I've
like-
smoked cigars when I was younger. I haven't
Yeah.
smoked cigars in a long time. And
no.
I smoked cigars at my buddy's wedding. Man, I got fucked up smoking a cigar.
Well, it's too strong.
Yeah, I think it was like a Cuban cigar or something. Oh.
Yeah.
I used to chew a lot too when I was younger, and I haven't
I
chewed.
did tons of that.
I stopped when I was 30. I haven't chewed in 10 years.
Yeah.
I just quit cold turkey.
Did you chew?
I chew everything. I mean, usually Skull Straight.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a buddy that worked for U.S. Smokes Tobacco, and there was all these flavors coming out at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime there's a flavor come out, he gave me like 100 of them. So I had tons, and I like Skull Apple. I like everything.
Yes, I can stand
Anything,
that shit.
man.
I started really young too. I mean, I grew
yeah.
up fucking listening to Hank Williams. Show.
Same
Grew up on
here.
Fucking sticks, right? Wearing cowboy boots and all
Here,
this
bring it
other
over to
shit.
that beer.
And so I went from Kodiak to Copenhagen.
Oh, Kodiak.
Yeah, Kodiak to Copenhagen, right? And then it was no going back from Copenhagen. And there was a time I was going through 3 tins a day.
Jesus.
It was.
I mean, my worst was like a 10 a day. 3 tins a day?
And it was when it started to get expensive too. It was like, and then, God, it was when 15 years ago, I bet, is when I quit. I bought a new car. It's crazy. I bought a new car. And I used to chew on my way going everywhere.
Yeah.
And a week went by and I just forgot. Just forgot.
Man.
And I told Wendler, I'm like, dude, I haven't had a chew in a week. I just forgot all about it. I guess I'm done.
I guess I'm done.
I'm done. And I never chewed
I
again.
haven't chewed in a week. I guess I'm done.
Yeah, so people it's confusing because they'll be like, man, I've been trying to quit for 10 years. I'm like, dude, I just forgot.
Yeah. Well, I didn't forget. I was like, when I'm going to have my first kid, right? I'm just going to stop chewing. I'm not going to chew anymore. I need spit bottles laying around everywhere.
Yeah.
So I decided to stop that day. And it was tough for like the first month. I never chewed again.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, well, maybe you can have a chew here or there. I said, I'm stopping. I just stop.
Yeah.
It's all mindset, you know?
The spit bottle or the spit cups with a little fucking napkin in it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So I decided I'm just done. You know, it's costing me a lot. I need spittoons laying around everywhere.
I could never.
It's a bad
use
habit
those.
anyway. I'm just gonna quit.
The spittoons are gross. I could never use those.
Oh,
Because you would miss.
I know.
Then you'd have to pick that smelly fucker up.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, oh god, this is like ass, man.
Yeah, I had a spittoon.
Like, just give me the fucking cup with a napkin. The Gatorade bottles were awesome.
Oh yeah, because they had the big lips. The big lipper. Yeah. It was easy to spit into.
My keyboards always had this brown film. and
Oh
shit
yeah.
on it.
No, and I loved chewing. I mean, that was one of my favorite things to do. Was
Yeah,
to chew.
yeah.
And it was tough to quit, but you know, I just you decide to do something, you just do it. You know, that's all. I would never quit drinking.
Well, what if
Ever.
you just decided?
I wouldn't decide.
I mean, what if somebody just said you don't have the strength to fucking quit?
I don't think I would quit that. I can't. I mean, I could quit anything I wanted to, but I don't want to quit drinking, right?
Isn't that what an alcoholic would say?
Oh shit, the cops are here. Shit, what are the cops doing here? They've got my vehicle surrounded. Foreman, get out there. No, I always going back on the quitting drinking. what did my dad always say? He said, I'm not going to quit drinking till I'm 6 feet under. That's what he always says. So my dad, I mean, he is a scientist, so. He's actually a construction worker.
I mean, a little bit ago, it wasn't a scientist. It was a fucking TV repairman.
He's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Now that TVs have become so cheap, there's no need for a repair.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah.
You know, it's
so now he's a scientist.
My dad actually was a TV repairman.
Oh, he was? That's awesome. Yeah.
He owned an appliance store. Skip Tate's Appliance and TV. I shit you not.
That's hilarious. Well, you know what that's from, right? That's from a movie from the 80s. You should know that.
What movie?
It's TV Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, yeah.
That's Spicoli. They wrecked the car.
Yep.
And he goes, he said, yeah, it's all right, man. Yeah, there it is. He knows it. My dad's a TV repairman. And he goes, your dad can't fix this, Spicoli. He said, my brother's going to kill you. Then he's going to shit. Then he goes, what's he going to do first? Is he going to shit or is he going to kill us? First he's going to shit, then he's going to kill us.
No, I remember that now. Yep.
So I always said that. That's what I said when I broke the machine.
Yeah.
That was part of the whole thing, when the whole video. I said, no, it's okay, to the owner.
Yeah.
You know, the owner came down and said, hey, my dad's a television repairman. He can fix this. And he goes, he can't fix this, Finn. I said, he can fix this. And, yeah, he never fixed it.
As I grew up in this business, that was the job. That was the job I couldn't do.
What, TV repairman?
The repair guy.
Jeez, I think he's getting a little.
Deliver the shit.
Like I think Dave's getting a little drunk. You hear him talking now? He's getting wild. Yeah. You better watch out in that beer.
That was my job, was to deliver the shit. You know, and you have to put it up downstairs. Actually, my job started cleaning the stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like Windexing and
right.
shit that was on the floor. And then as I got
What year is this?
Oh fuck, 80s. You know, maybe fucking even 70s.
So they had like the big like dresser TVs and stuff?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
The record players and shit like that were cabinets.
Right.
Fold open and there it is, and the speakers and shit are in there. The TV we would have at home was like is the size of this table. It was like a big fucking thing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
3 channels.
Jeez. I know. It's so crazy nowadays. Like everything's in the palm of your hand. Everything.
No, it is insane if I think back to it.
I remember, when I was younger growing up, we had the big like dresser for a TV, right?
Yeah.
Not many channels and all. I remember when like ESPN first came out and all that kind of and all that stuff. So, but now like I built my brand, I built my business right out of my palm of my hand.
It's crazy.
I don't know how to run computers. I don't know shit.
Yeah,
I ran it because I learned how to run a phone.
It's crazy.
And that would never ever, this brand Huck Finn Barbell would still be a local guy being an idiot, right? With nothing except for the people locally and the couple towns that knew who I was.
I mean, people bitch about technology, but as we're sitting here talking about this, I remember when HBO came out.
Jesus.
Right?
What about Skinamax?
Yeah, well, you could kind of see.
Right? Oh, yeah.
You know, through
do you ever remember those, the blurry things, right?
Yeah.
The porn channels?
Yep, you could see through.
Yeah, you could see like one boob. Oh, there's a boob!
But with HBO, there were two movies per day, but 3 times.
Yeah.
So it was like 5 o'clock, and then it would play again at 10, and then what was in the middle. And that's what it was. And it's like, this is crazy that I can watch HBO on my phone.
I know, yeah. You can watch any there. We had the football game going on last night as we were driving here, right for the phone.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's wild, man.
Yeah, so the technology,
it sucks, but it's great.
So when I was growing up, that's, everybody's pushing against me, like, there's training, you can't do shit with this. And from reference, you probably can't.
Looks like it.
Because what the hell are you going to do? Own a gym, right? And nobody would have imagined, there's going to be this thing called the internet. You're going to be able to have a site on the internet and all this other shit. And when I started, it was just putting ads in Powerlifting USA.
Yeah.
That was the first thing.
Yeah. And
then it was like, oh, okay, internet. What's that?
Yeah, like I told you, the first pair of knee sleeves I ever bought was from Elite FTS. Mm-hmm. When I was probably 19 or whatever it was. I bought a pair of double ply because I thought I could squat more.
You couldn't get them on.
I couldn't get them on. Yeah. I had to cut them to get them on.
Yeah, oh, really?
I swear to God. Yeah. I think I still have them laying around somewhere.
Yeah. That's the other problem. It's not consumable.
Yeah, right?
Fucking my same knee sleeves for 20 years.
Yeah. And then I remember
I sell aminos.
Yeah, you got to get a pre-workout market, you idiot. But I remember I also got an Elite FTS shirt that was had a four-leaf clover on it.
Yeah.
And I remember that too. I got that. Maybe that was more recent.
Yeah, that's probably
last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've known about Elite FTS since at least since the early 2000s.
I think December. Well, it is December now. I think when we cross the year, it'll be 25 years.
Man,
You know, it's a long fucking time.
that's a hell of a long
It's
time.
a long fucking time.
Shit, yeah.
You know,
What's the best memory you got from the last 25 years?
God, there's so much, man. I mean, you have a business now, right? So there's so much of what you need to take care of today and next month and all
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that it's really fucking hard to stop
Yeah.
and look back. Most of them aren't really numbers related. I wish they were.
Yeah.
Because we've never had that double digit type of growth ever. It's just been a
Slow, just incline.
slow type thing. Then you have a few years down, like,
Yeah.
fuck, we're going to go out of business. And it comes back
Oh,
up.
shit.
So it's a constant, you know, for things that helped me over the years was to understand that something ridiculous like 500,000 new businesses start each day. I mean, it's insane the number of new businesses that start every day.
Yeah.
And like 90% fail after a year.
Right.
And then like 90% of that fell after 3 years.
Yeah.
So you can get frustrated.
Damn good thing I'm in year 5.
Yeah.
That's,
yeah. You
thank
see
God
what
I
I'm
got
saying?
past the year 3.
And it sucks, man, because when you're in year 5, it's the same thing no matter what year it is. You're happy with what's happened.
Yeah, but you want to get
But
bigger.
you're also like, fuck, like this should be way higher than what it is. Because you compare yourself to others
Oh, yeah.
and all this other
Yeah.
kind of stuff. That never goes away. And it actually probably leans more towards, especially with your mindset, my mindset, of the fuck we should be better than what we are.
Always, no matter what.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's really hard to see. I'm having a hard time even answering your fucking question.
Yeah. No, I always
Yeah.
you always want to be better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You always want to grow. And you always thinking of ways to be better.
Yeah.
Constantly. That's all.
Well, the
you know-
other fucked up part, this is the biggest fucked up part, and it's when I had the financial meetings like I was doing when you came in. I'm numbers driven, right? But the fucked up thing is
I can't add.
I'm like powerlifting number driven.
135, 225, 315,
Well,
405,
no, the biggest
585.
number, like the 500 bench.
Yeah,
right? Like
right.
The total, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
That matters, but profit matters. You know, to me, it's like, okay, what were the total sales? We need to fucking beat the total sales.
Yeah, right.
Here's
You
what
always
it is.
want
We
to
need
beat
that.
Yeah, I
right?
know it.
But then you lose sight of what's going on down here.
Right.
And it's like, okay, we beat that, but fuck.
No, I know.
Yeah. So you got to like watch two things.
Yeah, I'm the same way, you know, with the business and then I'm dealing. It's like me and my wife do it, so it's
That's how
it's
we
like a
are.
smaller scale
Yeah.
than what you guys are. But you know,
Not really.
I'm trying to
That's
think
how
of
we
shit constantly, like just shirt ideas, supplement ideas, video ideas, just everything. Because you always want to be better. How are we going to beat this? I don't know. I don't think we can beat it. No, we can beat it. There's a way. There's definitely a way we can beat it. So it's always, even I write down anything, like in your phone. I write down, hey, what did I say yesterday? Here's a good shirt idea. I was driving here, and I'm like, in my head, I just thought of a shirt idea. My wife is my cardio, or something like that. I'm like, that's a great shirt idea. Let me write that down. My cardio is my wife, because I put a shirt out that says cardio's for pussies, right? As a joke. You need cardio to fight, obviously, but cardio's for pussies is hilarious. It's just shit like that, you know. And always write down anything. If I think of anything, I write it down, even if it's dumb, because something that's dumb can be great.
Well, it can be great later too.
Yes.
Right. And my wife is 60% owner. You know, because a long time ago.
My wife, I think, is 90.
Yeah. See, well, we thought having a female-owned business would have better benefits.
Did it?
No. No, it makes no goddamn difference. But either way, it's, you know, we've had to find that here's her lane, here's my lane.
Yeah.
And then we try not to cross lanes.
That's
You know,
good.
That's a tough.
It is.
It takes a while, and it gets more convoluted when you start hiring people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because then who's the person going to help, you or her? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, man. So me and my wife we'll start arguing over stuff, and I'll be like, no, this is going to sell. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that's kind of the bad part about having a business together, right?
Yeah. Well, with apparel, it's weird too, because I've had a lot of things. I'm like, oh, this is going to do great. And
Oh, that's another thing.
sucks.
Yeah. Same here. Even this shirt, I think it would, like I told you before, I thought it would sell, but I didn't think it would sell to the way it's sold. I mean, it has, when you have bad words on something, right? Swear words on shit, I don't think it's going to sell as good as a shirt like Let's Get Stupid. It was a great seller. I mean, it just don't have anything dumb on it, like anything bad. So I sold great. I didn't think something that had pussy on it would sell, but it did. You know, and there's some other things that I brought up to her, and she's like, I don't think that's going to sell. And then it sells, and I rub it right in her face.
See,
I knew it. I told you it was going to sell. That's the best.
Yeah, I've had other ones that I thought were just going to suck.
And they do good.
The fuck was
It's
that?
just like videos the same way, yeah.
Yeah.
Same
and then
way.
it's, I'll come up like this. This is one I came up with.
That's a good one.
You know?
Yeah, from
I'm like,
Ozarks.
I'm like, this is gonna fucking kill it. And I actually the conversation because there's two factors here. It's like, okay, here's the idea, here's the design, and I get it done. Then is my wife gonna be cool with this?
Oh,
right?
yeah. No, my wife's getting upset because there's so many swear words in every fucking thing we sell now.
There's always
It's
getting
like,
past
come on, can we
that.
get something besides like sexual innuendos and everything?
And she's like, oh, I think that one will sell. Then I'm like, oh, fuck, what I get myself into? Do I really want to do this one now?
That's a good one. I like that one.
And I'm like, okay, this is either going to do really well or it's going to suck.
Oh,
it's
I'm
not
the
gonna
same
fall
way.
in the middle.
Yeah.
And it fucker fell right in the middle.
Oh,
I'm like, come on. Like, no matter what I think.
I always think the same way. It's either going to do great or it's going to suck. We'll sell like hardly anything or we're going to sell a shitload. I'm the same exact way. Hey, mind if I have another beer?
No. And it's,
Are you ready for one yet? Or?
No, if I'm just like through here and I'm drunk, right? There.
I'm going to have to take a leak again.
Yeah, you already said I'm drunk.
Damn it. Hey, pause the show again, would you?
Yeah,
I got to take a leak.
yeah.
How many? Hey, what's a record number of pauses you've had in the show? One pause?
Yeah, this is a record.
Hey,
this is a
you gotta take
record.
bow.
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
Long
yeah,
live the theater.
yeah,
So, we did get one super chat.
yeah.
They want to know, did you see Brian Shaw collab with Derek Smith with arm wrestling, and would you ever do it yourself, or do you think that's just too mainstream? It's just like...
I didn't see the collab, so I don't know that. I would never do arm wrestling. I'm too fucked up to do it. But I know that from the collaboration standpoint, the people that I've known that's done arm wrestling collaborations have benefited greatly for their YouTube traffic. But I've never known anybody. I've known a lot of people that have got in arm wrestling from other things, but not like arm wrestling people. Yeah, I mean, nothing against it. It's just I don't know anything about it, except for when I used to bounce in the bars. Everybody, you fucking arm wrestle. I'm like, get away. Yeah, like you're gonna fuck my bench up.
Someone see the shotgun, too.
The shotgun, fuck. That I do remember from high school or whatever it was. Yeah, Matt, this is your kind of podcast, man. This dude's he's on 7 beers right now. There's one right here. Yeah, I'm like this far down. I'm like under the logo. I'm almost under the logo. I'm fucked up.
Yeah, I went out there and he's like, there's no fucking way. What the hell's going on?
Here's the thing, it tastes like shit, just like I remembered. What's that? See, I told you.
Really bad beer, my ass. All these beer experts come in here and like, yeah, you got to drink these IPAs.
No, he is a beer expert.
What do you drink, pal?
I'm surprised. My go-to is Rolling Rock.
Exactly, Rolling Rock. What a yuppie beer that is.
That's been since high school, and then
Rolling.
after that, I've been on a Coors banquet beer kick.
Listen, Coors ain't bad. I'll drink Coors. That's a non-union beer, but I'll
Smokey
drink
and the
it.
Bandit.
Exactly. That's, from Colorado. Yeah, Rolling Rock. Come on, man. That's not a real beer. That's a yuppie beer.
My dad was a huge beer drinker.
What do you drink?
And Old Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah,
But-
my grandpa drank Old Milwaukee.
Yeah,
and
but
my
we're
dad
going
drank
way
Pabst.
back. Now, he used to go on hunting trips in Wyoming, and he'd come back with pallets
Of Coors? Yeah, because you can only get it out there, right?
Fucking
In the Rockies.
pallets.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like half our 2-car garage.
That was illegal. You know
full
that,
of
right?
beer.
He's like smoking the Bandit.
That
Can't
was
get it-
illegal to do that?
Yeah, I don't think you could bring it past state lines, right?
Oh, he fucking did.
I think
half my garage.
I don't remember, but I wasn't
Yeah.
born then. But I thought it was like some law or something. I remember
Yeah.
people would go. That's what Smoking the Bandit was.
Yeah, see, when I was in junior high, that was like our go-to. Like, he'll not miss one.
Yeah, he's got pallets of
we'll
this shit.
Like get in the case that's in the middle of the pallet.
Right? Yeah. There's one missing.
Yeah.
One Coors Light banquet.
Yeah.
You know, my dad drank Pabst. He drank Pabst when it wasn't cool to drink Pabst.
Yeah.
And I remember going to restaurants and they wouldn't have Pabst there, and he'd get up and leave.
Are you serious?
Come on, son, we're leaving. They don't have Pabst. We're out of here, son. We get up and have to go to a different restaurant because they wouldn't have Pabst. And now you go to places, fuck, that's what they have is Pabst because, like, the, what do you call those people? The guys with the tails on their head?
The bartenders?
No, not the bartenders. The
Tails on their head.
They have, like, the whatever you call that, the man buns, right? The hipster. It's like that's what I'm looking for. The hipster. Yeah, it's like the hipsters took over. Like now, Pabst is popping. I can find it everywhere. But he stopped drinking Pabst because he retired from construction, and he ended up making every night a Saturday night. So he ended up gaining like a ton of weight. Like he went up like 300. He's a big guy, 6'3".
Calories.
He's like 250, but he went up like 50 pounds. Like whoa, I got to stop drinking for like 6 months and everything and get on a diet. So he got down in his weight, and then he's like, I'm not drinking fucking Pabst anymore. I'm going to start drinking Miller Lite. So he stopped, and then about 2 years later, Pabst was everywhere. Like that was the in thing then, and he was so mad because when he did want Pabst, you couldn't find it. Like it was barely anywhere, and now it's like, the hipster beer now. Right.
The tail.
And those tails on their head. Yeah. So when's the last time you had a beer, you said? Been 2 decades?
It's probably been 20 years.
Is it tasting better yet, or
No.
same, better, or worse?
No, it's going to get warmer and it's going to get worse.
We'll put an ice cube in it. That's an old trick, keep you hydrated, right? That's what an old guy told
the
me.
hydration?
Yeah, you put a couple ice cubes in your beer, it
to
hydrates you.
I thought this was supposed to be dehydrating.
No, you put ice cubes in it, it'll hydrate you. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, we are sponsored by LMNT, which is a hydration stick, right? So if
What?
you mix that with your beer, I bet it would foam up like crazy.
Oh, it would, yeah. I've mixed pre-workout with alcohol before. Foams like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I've drank it. I mean, it about die. Right? I've tried everything. It doesn't work out good. So, yeah, you put that powder in there, it will foam like hell, and it'll taste like shit.
Well, maybe that's your supplement there. You got to figure out the pre-workout you can mix with beer that won't foam.
I don't think you can. I don't. Yeah, maybe that's a $1 million idea. I remember when I was like in high school, my thing that I wanted to make was an alcoholic drink that would make you stronger and not make you fat.
Isn't that what fucking all alcohol does?
Is make you fat.
Is make people think they're stronger.
Oh, you get beer muscles, right? You get beer muscles, but I wanted like a thing like it would be like
with aminos.
Have everything in it, like protein, but there's no way because alcohol does something to your testosterone. I don't know what it does, something, but it doesn't. It does not make you actually stronger or in better shape. But I wanted to make something, and I'm not a scientist. My dad is, but I wanted something like that. That would have been great. What if what I'm drinking now is making me stronger and better?
Well, you could argue it is.
Go on.
Well, if you
I mean, it's made my companies better, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just said a little bit ago.
Oh, yeah, I did. But I'm saying, like, instead of making you fatter or whatever, right, that you could drink like 20 a day and make you stronger and better shape. That'd be the ultimate.
It would.
What? I'm going to try this if you're serious. Drink 20 beers a
no,
day, and I'll report back to you in 6 months.
No, that was a question.
I'll be 300 pounds.
Because there's the negatives. There's always a pros and cons of everything.
Right.
So now you got to figure out what the negatives of those are, then how you're going to mitigate it.
Well, I don't think alcohol could actually make you stronger.
Well, it can make you gain weight. We know that.
That's true. And gaining weight does make you stronger. It does. It has a lot of carryover on the bench. I know that. The bigger you are, like the biggest I've been, I don't know, 250, 255, I bench more. So the bigger you are, it has more carryover, I think, in the bench than any other lift. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I would say the squat. Because your belly, you can get the rebound.
Oh, yeah.
Torso. But the bench.
Well, being bloated.
The bench is definitely up there. The deadlift by no,
not at all. You see the biggest guys, they deadlift this. They don't deadlift at all hardly.
No, it's terrible.
Like we were saying earlier, or I was saying earlier, was what's his name? I can't remember his name now. The guy I was training with Lillibridge and Derek Kendall. Yeah, his deadlift was like 1,000 pounds. His squat was 1,000 pounds. His deadlift was like 700 pounds. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get in a good position, So
well, it's hard to figure out because they got where's their belly going to go?
Right.
Then their arms are too short to pull sumo.
Yep. Yeah.
So they pull sumo, they end up locking out with the bar over their cock.
Jesus, that's turning me on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Couple more beers.
Yeah.
But I think the strongest I've been in the bench is when I was at my heaviest.
Well, of
I think
course.
it's got a lot of carryover.
Well, it depends upon coefficient. If we want to get into coefficients and shit like
well,
that.
Well, no, yeah.
All right, so here's the question then. When you go after this 500, what body weight are you going to do it at?
220.
220.
I need it at 220. Yeah,
So where do you sit now?
240 something.
Oh shit! So you need to lose weight.
I'll lose a little bit of weight.
So you need to drink less.
Not much less. Listen, if I have to drink a lot less, I'll do it at 242.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But,
what's like not much less? Like 3 less on the weekend?
I'd say 24. Probably take out 1 case of beer per weekend.
How many are now on a weekend?
I'd say 6.
Are you shitting
No, I'm
me?
just kidding. No. No, I'd say
3?
no, not 3. Maybe depending on the weekend. If we're having a party going on, yeah, maybe 3.
So what's it take to get you fucking even a little bit drunk?
Well, I feel it now.
Yeah.
But
Well, you're fucking 7, 8 in.
But I don't feel drunk until about 18 beers. I kind of feel a good buzz, right? What did you say? 18 beers? 18 beers to a case. I drink them faster in a short amount of time. Yeah. But if I drank 24 beers in like a 6-hour span or whatever it is.
Have you ever done here's a video idea. Have you ever done a video to see how many you can drink and still stay under the legal limit?
That's a good idea. I might do that. Right?
I don't know how good the views are going to be. I'm just curious.
Well, I could do that and also bench at the same time or something too, right? Or we could say how much I could bench at a certain amount of blood alcohol level, right?
Yeah, and as alcohol level goes up, what happens to the bench?
Does it go down? Does it go up?
Maybe.
Fuck science.
Maybe you do it with like a Tendo unit or some unit that can measure speed, right?
I'm in.
So now you take like.
Listen, my dad is a paramedic. He could probably do this.
Yeah, you get
Right?
what I'm saying. Like you measure bar speed.
100%.
There's apps to do this.
Yeah.
So that way you can get more sets in. So it's not can you keep benching 500.
Right.
So like, what's your bar speed after three cans?
I like that
6
idea.
cans. Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
You say bar, I'm out of here. I'm going to the bar.
Yeah. So bar speed, right? And then what's it going to be after 24? Fuck,
Jeez.
it might go up
It might.
because your inhibition is going to be less. You're going to drop it faster.
Shit. Maybe when I go bench 501, I should have at least 15 beers in me.
Yes.
Right? Because I'll forget about my pecs.
So that could be
You might be onto something here.
It could be Huck Finn conjugate. Mm-hmm. Right. So here's how you
I
do
like
your
that.
speed work. The speed work has to be done with beers.
Yeah. You have to have this many beers.
As long as the speed keeps going up, it
I
works.
like that
when it
program.
goes down, you stop.
You're a genius.
Max effort work.
Hey, write this down.
Yeah, max effort work has to be done with shots.
Ooh, yeah. What kind of shots? What do you have? Fireball or
Whatever. Fuck, I don't know shit about this. I'm just throwing
Tequila?
shit out. It's all bad.
hold on? It's all bad. You've had 3 beers already. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, if this is bad, that's even worse bad.
Yeah, it is. That's
That's
why.
like
Yeah,
awful
you
bad.
see a lot of old beer drinkers out there, right? But you don't see a lot of old whiskey drinkers out there. That's why I drink beer. That's another reason. Because it pickles their liver faster. That alcohol, it's in hard liquor, right?
Yeah.
That's way harder on your liver than beer is.
So the alcohol will kill you, where the beer's just going to give you diabetes.
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
Where you
That's
can,
another reason why I drink beer.
because you want diabetes.
I like to call it livabetes, not diabetes.
Livabetes.
Exactly.
Oh, I get it. All right, the die, right?
Yeah, I don't know
'Cause
why.
you're not
Who would
gonna
ever think
die.
of calling it diabetes? I mean, that's a terrible name. Call it livabetes, right?
So the insulin spikes are what's helping
Yeah,
the
right.
training.
Don't those what is it? Pro bodybuilders, don't they do insulin and all that?
Yeah.
Right,
You
so I
don't
do-
you don't use insulin.
Yeah, with alcohol, right? Yeah. I get insulin spikes from the beer. It makes me grow. It tastes good. You
So
almost
what?
don't-
Yeah. What other drinking advice would you have for the fans?
Geez, that's another good question. Drinking advice. I don't really have advice to drink. I guess just drink. And if you've never done, I'd say a power hour, look into that. Right, power hour is very good.
Power hour.
That's where I'd play I got a country music playlist. I listen to a lot of country, and I every minute a country song would come on, and an air horn would go off, and you take a shot of beer for 60 minutes.
What's the air horn have to do with this?
When the air horn goes off, you take a shot.
But the air horn is not in country music.
No, it's on a it's like it used to be CDs. I have a CD like that. I don't know what it's on now, But it used to. I have a CD where you put a CD in. It'd be 1 minute of a song, right?
Yeah.
And it would go. And you take a shot of beer, and then another song would come on.
All right. So this is like a power hour, whatever CD.
Yeah, Power Hour.
Yeah.
So look into it. I like to do the Century Club, which is 100 minutes. That'd be about 8 beers. And you do it in 100 minutes. You feel good. Do not drink and drive. That's another good thing.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. I mean, you can get literally anywhere. You can get a what do you call those, Ubers? Mm-hmm. That's why I understand these pro athletes that get DUIs or get messed up with that. I mean, you can get driven I mean, you got millions of dollars. It costs like $20 to get a ride somewhere. So that's another thing. Never drink and drive. That's why I have a what do you call it? A DD. That's why I brought Foreman over there. Mm-hmm. Watch your carbs. And enjoy yourself. Mm-hmm. Right? Always, and I mean always, put your beer on ice the night before. Let them sleep.
Let them sleep.
We call it sleeping on ice.
Yeah.
So we let our beer sleep on ice, right? So it's extra cold in the morning.
So no fridge.
No fridge. Fridge beer is too warm. I want it so cold you can't even touch the can. So you let it sleep on ice overnight.
Yeah. Hmm? All right. Then training advice.
Build the chest. Fuck the rest. That's probably my best piece of advice. This is an upper body business, like I said earlier, right? And you want a big upper body, and I think the best way to go about that is the bench press, right? So, heavy benching and heavy overhead pressing is king. Right?
Any questions or topics that you wanted to talk about that I didn't bring up?
Yes. You said you benched 500 pounds in high school. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I did.
You got video of this?
Dude, it was fucking 1986.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I want to see this.
Yes.
And where is it at?
Open powerlifting may have something close to that time.
What high school did you go to?
Finley High School.
Where's that at? Columbus?
By Toledo. By Toledo.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah. So I started competing when I was 13.
So you grew up in like Toledo, right? You grew up in this area,
Outside
correct?
of Toledo, yeah. I mean, Finley's it's a small town.
Do you know that guy from MASH? He was from Toledo.
No.
That's fake.
No. But one of my first introductions to the gym was to a small powerlifting gym, and that's all they did. So when I went through the cement plate weight thing.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody else for 3 months or whatever it is.
You might have had another beer.
Yeah, go ahead. And then
You need another one?
No, I'm good. And then getting in trouble and all that other shit, my dad put me in this gym that happened to be owned by the head of narcotics police.
Oh yeah. Cocaine.
All that. So he put me in there, so I was around police officers, but they're all competitive powerlifters. So my introduction to training more or less was powerlifting. So I didn't.
Right.
I was fortunate to have. I don't want to say it was the best technique in the whole world.
Yeah.
But it was way better than everybody else. Which that just started. I think the first time I don't ever remember not benching 300 pounds.
Right. What age were you?
13.
Was that high school or right around there?
Right around there. Junior high, moving into high school. I think that one of the high school meets I did that it should be on open powerlifting was a 440 squat, 440 bench, and it might have been like a 440 deadlift. I mean, it was all fucking in the 440s, all around the same.
All 440?
Yeah. And then I did a couple of the stupid high school meets, and then the guys I was training with were like, don't ever do those again, like ever. Do these other meets.
Right, yeah.
Because they were sanctioned and the other ones weren't.
Right.
And I got my ass kicked in the other ones.
Oh yeah,
the high school ones. I'm like, holy shit!
I know it's the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, I go to these other ones. I'm like, I suck.
I didn't even know what to do. Like we never paused. It was all press, like touch and go.
Yeah.
Right. And there's judges. I didn't know what are these guys looking. I didn't know anything.
And this was all pre-bench shirt. And then I would say
they come in like
around,
the late 90s.
No, it was before that because they were these really tight, like. They weren't the same thing. They were like super tight T-shirts that were just tear the shit out of your armpits and shit. close back.
Now I don't know this, but you probably do. Did Ernie Franz, didn't he come up with like a ton of shit that he never got credit for? Or?
Oh yeah, Ernie.
Didn't he come up with the monoliths, or is that like a?
I don't know about
I
that
thought he
one
did.
for sure, but I know that shortly after I came into the sport was after there was the split between the USPF and the APF. So Ernie basically said, "Fuck
APF,
you," started the APF.
Right.
I went the
That's
APF route.
Me too.
Yeah, right. And that was because that's where the guys I competed.
Yeah.
That's where they went.
Right.
And it's funny when I was talking to Blaine Sunder and a lot of these other people. People get on their high horse about you're in this federation or this federation. It's like sometimes this is just where these guys started.
Yeah.
And that's all they know.
Well, it's another thing. I will train not train.
Yeah.
I will compete anywhere. I compete in my basement. I compete in APF. I compete in the USPA, USPA, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit where I compete at.
Yeah.
I compete in here today.
Yeah.
At Elite FTS, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So coming up, I remember Enzer gear because the gear was part of it when I came in. It was single ply shit, and the suits would tear out in the ass and the bottom, which was always fun. And the bench shirts just hurt like a motherfucker.
It tore your armpits
apart. And then it took me a while to find France because Enzer was the big. They had more ads than anybody else. And then France, it was like, holy shit, this suit's way better. The suits being way better. And then by the time I actually made my way to Westside, a decade later, I go in there and Louis looking at my shit and he's like, you need to wear a double ply. And I'm like, the fuck is a double? Like, you mean like two suits sewn together? I didn't know this shit existed.
Yeah.
Like, you got to, go to France, order it from France.
So he was buddies with Franz.
Yeah. So it's like, get the double ply with this, double ply that. But I know Ernie was for sure, I believe, the bench shirt where there's been a lot of bullshit about that saying that's not true, where it was that, then somebody else stole it. Then there's a lot of bullshit back and forth. That was one. Then the canvas squat suit for sure.
Canvas squat suit was all Ernie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was one of the first.
That's what I thought.
And it was a weird time too because, not everybody, but most of the guys at Westside were all against it. They called it a diaper suit and all this other shit. I'm like, look, man, I'm watching Willie Wessels do this. I'm watching these other guys do this. They're fucking killing it. And I talked to Ernie at one of the seniors, and he's like, no, I think you would do really well with one of these things. I'm like, okay, fuck it, send it to me. And then he tailor it in. I'm like, holy shit, this is another world here. This is big time. And then at that time, his bench shirts denim was a weird age for bench shirts.
Right.
Because it would work, and then it would just take your head off. It was like Russian roulette. It would either fucking hurt and destroy you, or it would work. He had one that was working really well. And then it just went gangster as far as bench shirts, as far as making them work.
Yeah.
I was never able to really capitalize on making them work the way that the other people were.
So you competed like that for how long?
Until I couldn't grab a bar anymore. So I was 2004.
Yeah.
My shoulder needs replaced, so I can't grab a bar. So a lot of things kind of coincided at the same time. So it's probably 24 years competing at that point where I'm trying to grow a business, but it's hard to do when you don't get into work.
Yeah.
It's like 12:30 because training's #1 priority and all this other stuff. It's just.
That's what I said.
Yeah. It's just.
Training's
it wasn't really
#1.
working. I had a kid at the time, and then now I can't grab a bar.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, maybe I can still force my way under there.
Yep.
Or maybe I can just say, you know what, this is a blessing in disguise, and I wasn't. This was like 3 years of this shit is not getting better again, because you go through these phases where you get strong and then it gets hard.
Yeah.
Then you get strong, then it gets hard.
Yep.
And then each time you make one of them steps, you get more fucked up. So then I got strong, then it got hard, and it's like, man, I'm really fucked up. So this is really hard, and I'm really fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to keep pushing this.
Right.
And I'm not going to have a third shoulder surgery.
How old were you?
38, I believe. And there was a lot of damage because you compete that hard for that many years.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't train around anything.
What age were you? What age were you the strongest at? Like 33, 34?
Yeah, probably 33, 34. Yeah. Relatively, I could say, if you go down to when I was 220, I could make an argument there because there was less gear.
Yeah.
And 500. I think when I did the 520, I think that was raw, and that was in my 20s, and maybe that might have been 242. And so it's like, okay, you compare that to the shirted bench of 610 at 308. Come on. You know?
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know.
But I mean, the shirts there weren't very good.
I should have learned how to use them better.
Yeah.
Because my
you
raw
gotta,
bench.
that's another thing. You got to learn how to use that equipment on top of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. There were other people getting 200 pounds out of their shirt, and
Yeah.
I was getting 65.
Right. Yeah.
Like, come on. You know, this is bullshit. But you either play the game or you don't play the game.
Yeah.
I personally like the gear because I was never the strongest, right?
Yeah.
So I never, in a fucked up way, I never saw myself as that either. I saw myself as I can always be a top 10 guy, right? But if I'm a top 10 guy, then they fuck up, I can still win.
You can sneak in.
But if I need to get in there at that top 10 guy position, so that's kind of how I always saw that. But now with the gear, it's like, look, I can be this top 10 guy, but then I can learn my shit better than the other guys. And if I know my gear better, and let's say I could get that. If I used the gear more than what I did, I would have squatted. People I trained with would say this as well. I don't like to throw numbers out of my ass. I would have squatted 100 pounds more for sure.
Right.
I would have benched probably 100 pounds more for sure. My total would have been 300 pounds higher.
Yeah. That's why I didn't grow up in that era.
Yeah.
Right. But that's another thing I didn't like about gear is if you had better equipment than I did, better shirt, or knew how to use it better than me, you're going to be stronger than me.
Yep.
But if I do it raw, there's no way it's going to be either I'm stronger than you or you're stronger than me.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things. But I didn't grow up in that era either.
Yeah,
You know,
it's just a different era because where I would see that from that other side was, well, if your genetics are better than I'm fucked anyhow.
Yeah.
But so now what skill is involved? Say in football, if we got the same genetics, but I practice harder and I learn my plays
Yeah.
and I know my drills, I can kick your ass.
Right.
Where in powerlifting, that's just straight up, here's what it is until you threw that extra layer on there.
I don't have no skill. That's why I hate that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was all brute strength.
Yeah, so that's why I've always, even when Raw started to come up, I always respected both.
Yeah.
Because they're different. They are
Big
so
time.
different.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand how vastly different they are, and they try to compare the two.
I think it's just what kind of generation you're in, too.
Yeah.
If you're, you know, in the, 90s, early 2000s, I mean, everybody was doing that. So if I was in that era, I'd do the same thing. It's just when I was lifting, I never, you know, it was all Raw. Like, Raw was getting big, especially in 2012, 13, 14, 15, all that. It was huge.
Huge, man.
blowing
it was
up.
an upswing. And you're kind of part of that upswing to see it. Look,
Yeah.
You remember how hard people were pushing back on that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Big time.
You know, so the early adapters of that, you know, Lily Bridges being part of that, some of the other ones.
Yeah.
People want to talk about people getting hate in the sport.
Big time.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, they were getting blasted, but then I think that was part of their fire.
Oh,
It's
it was.
Fuck you. I will do this shit without your gear.
They show up to meets Raw, but they'd be the only people Raw,
Yeah.
right? So, and then they started, there's guys that were squatting more, right, Raw than with gear, and that's what really kind of then started taking, I think that's kind of helped that Raw transition, right?
See, that's what I would, if I was competing today, that would fuck me up. It would. If I was in a flight of lifters.
Oh, yeah, and you got a guy benching or squatting Raw or benching Raw.
Yes, after me.
After, yes, and you're
I'd be like,
less.
fuck.
Oh, I'd fuck me up big time.
No, it would be like,
I'm done.
yeah, so I'm like glad I'm done, man.
Same here.
'Cause I have no fucking aspirations.
There's no way. I'm putting this whole suit on. I got 5 guys help me in it. I'm doing less than he's doing. He's got fucking a singlet on with his dick hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely no way. No way.
Oh, yeah. And then how did you start, like, how did this, I mean, this is huge. Like, how did this
It
just
started,
blow
I mean,
up?
well, I was working as a trainer and
And how long were you at Westside?
14 years.
14
Yeah,
years?
so I was working as a trainer for probably 8 years at the time.
Was that at Law Fitness?
Higher level. It was more corporate fitness center, like a country club that had, you know, dining and fucking training. Right?
I'm a member of a country club. Country music is what I love.
Yeah. So I would train clients from 6 in the morning to 8, go to Westside until like 11:30, and then train clients. It's like 10 at night. And that was for 8 years.
Yeah.
And during that time, you know, I would go with Louis to do seminars and consulting and stuff like that, because my degree is in exercise science and nutrition, and that's what I wanted to do. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with it.
Right.
Except fucking power lift. And that's all I cared about. And that just seemed to be where it was going to go. And so that led into me doing the consulting and seminars, and then getting online. One of the first times I got online, you know, I'm searching powerlifting training.
Pornhub and stuff like that, yeah.
And I found deepsquatter.com, and he had a lot of, Jason Burnell had a lot of West Side stuff on there.
Yeah.
And a lot of it wasn't what we were doing. So I started answering questions on there for him, and he was doing the best that he can. You know, he's going off articles.
That was like early 2000s?
Probably earlier than that. So 98, 99, before because 2000 is when we launched the site. But when the site launched, it was just a Q&A. And that was it. It was Ask Dave. And it was like a forum, but I didn't want a forum because forums were bullshit. Because there would be a thread of people arguing.
Right, yeah.
I just wanted, here's the question, here's the answer, go away. There was no way to reply to the
yeah,
answer.
That's good. I like that.
And so that's what started it. And then from there, people would ask, hey, where do you get bands? Where do you get this book? Where do you get this? Where do you get this? So we put a shop up and then kind of took it from there. So it started out of just answering questions for people, and then them asking about products. And I saw the future as being like the seminars and the consulting, and that was going to be what was going to get me out of the personal training. Because when I met with my clients, because I mean, after a while you have a kid and you can't be in the gym all the fucking time.
Yeah.
You just can't.
I know.
And so we were laying out different business plans, and everything that we laid out, and my clients were executives. I mean, they were smart. Everything had multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can either have a training center, but with the training center, you need this. I'm like, yeah, but with the training center, I'm doing the same shit I'm doing now. I'm still going to be stuck in here all the time. Like, well, you can do this. And education was a part of it. It's like, I want to be able to give back to powerlifting. I mean, that was a huge thing because, you know, all these people throughout my life never charged me anything, you know.
Same here, yeah.
And that's why I got everything I have. So I can't not give back.
Just keep, you
know, so how's that? That's a live, learn, pass on.
Right,
That's kind of where it comes
That's
through.
good.
Like, how do I maintain that, but do it in such a way that I can pay for the content, allow it to be free, but not have to have a paywall? Because that was a big thing back then.
Yeah.
Is that, or, you know, monetizing content, all the other stuff. That was the drive. Then it became this, okay, now how do we pay for the content? Well, you got to sell shit to pay for the content.
What'd you sell first?
Sleds were one of the first things, weight releasers, and sleds were definitely the first thing. It was sleds, and there's like fucking amino acids or something. It didn't really sell.
Amino acids? People keep buying that. Why'd you stop?
It
Elite FTS, amino acids.
Yeah, it didn't do shit. But the sleds were a big one.
Yeah.
And the seminars, probably the sleds and the seminars were big. And then after a year or two, Louis got sick and tired because he used to sell a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And his videos and the reverse.
Well, I remember those videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my wife was frustrated with her job, and he said, well, why don't you just sell the shit that I sell? And that would be like safety squat bars, manta rays, weight releasers, belt squat belt.
Belt squat's been around that long?
Well, it was just a belt that had a chain on it. It was a completely different type of thing. And
like a dip belt or something?
Yeah, it was a dip belt, and it had these fucking chain that was like welded. And it was terrible.
Yeah.
But it worked. And so he gave us all that on consignment, and that's where the products started to take off. So if it wasn't for Louis, I wouldn't have a company either. I would, but it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't look the same.
Yeah.
You know, that was, okay, now
That's awesome.
I have contacts.
Right.
Now I know this person to get books from, this person to get this from. And then it's
big.
like, well, it's like, how much do I order? Because I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
You know, so I got to take what Louis gave me, sell it, use that profit to buy more inventory, and then use that to buy more inventory. And then 10 fucking years later, I'm like, I still ain't making any money, you know, still building inventory.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and so it was a long play, but I wouldn't do it any different because I didn't fucking know anything.
Right.
Like if somebody would have said, here's 20 grand, I would have been out of business.
Well, yeah, I think the internet helped everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the internet is fucking huge.
Yes.
You might have had another beer.
Yeah, go right. At what point am I going to say, like, no? Like, you're going to run out. You're like going to fucking run out of beer.
Well, we're about to run out of beer. I'm going to need a couple more.
Yeah. But I didn't even know what the internet was at I got a computer for fucking Christmas, and that my brother put together. And then I go online, it's like dial up.
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, and I had a Malamute at the time, so I'm looking up like fucking Malamute sled dragging shit
Right.
and all this stuff. Then then I started looking up the training, and I'm like, what is it? And then I'm like, well, maybe the seminars were what I was trying to promote at the time. Is I need to get the seminars out there so people will come to the seminars, and the goal there was just to fucking break even on the seminars. And then the third or fourth seminar in, there was somebody that attended that said, hey, you ever think about putting up a website? And I'm like, I have one. And it was just a fucking page. That
Right.
Here's, call this number. He's like, no, like a real one. It's like, I got a buddy that's trying to do this. I'm like, fuck it, let's just do that. And that's where the Q&A came from. So it's relationships and just the same thing.
Yeah, it's all building relationships with everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
It's
more
thing
contacts
today.
you have, the better off, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's different though today though, because the industry is. I mean, back then you still had the fitness mags and all the other kind of shit, but the industry was a little more trusting then. Like if I contacted somebody and they were who they thought, they were who they said they were.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Right. Hold on. Am I who you thought I was? Or?
Yeah.
I am?
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking
complete idiot.
Well, I'm talking suppliers and stuff like that.
Oh,
so,
yeah. No, I
and
got you.
Stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
So all those type of things. And even with that, like online training's changed a lot with the education online. Because before I could put coaches on the site that were writers and all this other stuff, they're like legit coaches.
I remember reading, dude, like stuff off your website.
Yeah.
About everything.
Yeah.
The columns you guys had.
Yeah.
I remember reading those. I mean, years ago. So
And it was easier to vet the information, though,
right?
Because nobody had an agenda.
Yeah.
Where now, everybody's trying to build their online client base. So it's like, okay, so are you for real? Like what you're writing here, is this even fucking for real?
Or is it bullshit?
Then are you for real?
Yeah.
Because if we post this and then it sends people to you, then you rip people off. They come to me.
Then you
for
look
the
like
refund.
shit. And then you look like shit.
Yeah. So that's changed. Content's changed. It went from the articles to blogs.
Yeah.
To Q&As to all the digital video, short form.
Yeah.
And podcast, long form. So weird, right? Because it got super short form, which is really popular.
Yep.
Very long form.
Yeah.
Like all the middle stuff is like shitty.
Well, who is that? Chuck? Who's squatting in your thing? Is that Chuck Vogelpool or who is that? Who is that? Well, your main logo. Who is that squatting? Or is that just something you guys made up?
My graphics guy still never told me for sure.
So you don't know who it is?
I think it's Louis.
Oh, it is Louis.
I think.
Yeah, I always wanted to know who that was.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because what we knew what the brand was going to be, and then we needed a picture of somebody squatting from behind, and then so I went to the gym that day, and there was 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
I had squatting from behind.
Right.
Right. And then we had to take the box out, which is why you see that fucked up.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah, that's been your logo since the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I said, I remember getting that shirt and that logo was on it.
Yeah.
That was probably 2002, maybe. So
yeah, that becomes the weird thing with apparel too. Is how do you keep your brand identity on each one?
Right.
I've had a couple like hit Sports Center, like Prepare, Perform, Prevail was one. I'm like,
oh, that's good.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, but my fucking logo ain't.
I
there.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Then you don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
That's how you're fucked. I know.
This sucks.
Yeah. No, I've had stuff all over the place, and then my logo's not on there, which is this, right?
Yeah.
It just says, might say this.
Yeah.
But it's not. Oh, they don't know whose brand that is.
Yeah,
so.
because that picks up steam. You give it 3 months, it's going to be all over every T-shirt site.
Yep.
You're going to be on there fucking sending out takedown requests.
Yeah. And then I want to ask about John Meadows. Like all I know about him, I never met him in person. I just want to know more about him. Like I know he died recently, but I always watch his stuff, and we've contacted each other back and forth, before he died. But like just about how he was and how
everything you saw online was pretty much how he was.
him, right?
Yeah. He was. If I'm the person that's on this side that doesn't trust anybody,
right,
then he is the person on this other
that
side
trusts everybody.
that trusts everybody.
Yeah.
So for us to have conversations just about business and people, we could always find right in here.
Happy medium,
right?
yeah.
Because that was a strength and weakness,
right,
to him. It's same for me, 'cause But yeah, and he fucking loved to train. I mean, that's obvious. He loved to train fucking hard.
Yeah.
You know, and that was.
I always wanted to train with him. And,
Yeah.
and I didn't get to know him too well, just you know, before he passed. But we'd message back and forth a bunch. And I always wanted to train with him.
Yeah.
You know, and I bought his. How you have that? Was it the Mad Dog bands, all that? Whatever.
Yeah.
I bought all those and everything, and I don't know.
Now, he would do anything for anybody. He
seemed like
legit,
a great guy,
man. I mean, it's when anybody passes in the industry that you know, and I've known a lot of people that have passed in this industry now, that you always kind of dread, like what's going to happen. So I just kind of stay away from the internet for a couple of days. And he's the only one that I never saw. There was like one stupid fucking bad thing, but that was
nothing
it.
bad about
like
him. He's such a great guy.
Never seen anything like that. You know, which means his reach and his impact was huge.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, so and his family's good, so that's
right. He was from around here, correct?
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, so I trained with John. He was at Westside for a little while when I was there. I didn't like him because he's a bodybuilder guy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, stick a bodybuilder guy in some of the places that you train
yeah.
with. It just doesn't mesh well. And then hooked back up with him after I retired from powerlifting because I'm trying to figure out, like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't want to fuck with your head, but like, how are you going to train when you can't train to get a bigger bench? I mean, it's when that's all.
You're fucking with my head right now.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? It's like,
I don't know what I'm going to do.
You know? Like, just training for fitness is like
I guess try to drink 24 beers for noon. I don't know. I don't have anything else. I don't have any other goals.
Yeah, I mean, training for fitness just doesn't.
I know.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I'm 40 now. It's getting close.
Yeah, so I got into. I'll do that. You know, do this bodybuilding training shit. See if I like that. Some I liked about it. The challenge sets I liked, but the rest I'm like, this is stupid. Like arm days to me are stupid as fuck.
Yeah, I watch a bunch of his videos. I use a lot of his stuff too.
Yeah.
I thought it was very, very good shit.
Yeah,
you know, and then he dressed up like the Ultimate Warrior one day or something.
Oh yeah, he got into that.
That was awesome. I love that. I was like, this is the best thing ever. So
no, he did.
It's kind of how we Matt talk, you know.
Yeah.
But.
No, he was into that like in a big fucking way. And
right.
And when he first showed it to me, I'm like, dude, this is so stupid.
I know it.
And he's like, no, man, this is the greatest thing.
Well, I said it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, yeah.
When I saw it, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
He's walking around with a whistle. He's like dressed like an Ultimate Warrior. I love that kind of shit, you know. But, no, this is a hell of a brand. Hell of a place, man.
Thank you.
Now, is there anything else you want to know about me? Hold on. I had to finish that beer first. You mind if I grab another?
You got to finish them, right?
It's the last one. Unless you want one more. You finished that?
Yes, I did.
We got
No,
one
I
more
didn't. No, I didn't.
We have one more beer in here.
No, that's yours.
You sure?
I saw a video when I was going through your stuff yesterday, and I believe it was a tour of your new place.
Can't believe I even have it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the setup as far as the distribution warehouse, whatever you want to call it. What do you call that area? Just your garage warehouse?
Yeah, we have two outbuildings on the property.
Yeah.
My house is on the property. We have the warehouse, or whatever you call it, the workshop, we call it, and then the barn gym.
And the gym's separate.
So it's all on the property. It's 10 acres.
Now, when you did you build it or did you move into it?
No, we moved into it. I was thinking about building it, but then all the prices of wood were fucking outrageous, right?
Yeah,
the last couple of years. And I found a place that had everything, but more than actually we needed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is, this is a great property.
Yeah.
It has everything and more we'd ever need ever, right?
Yeah.
Do we go or do we not? And we went. So
yeah, that's where I was going to go with is because there's enough room to grow.
Oh, there's tons of room.
With that, but you're still in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Right.
And that's where I love to be.
Will UPS pick up there?
Oh yeah. No, I'm very good friends with the UPS driver.
Yeah.
And they help us all the time.
Yeah.
The UPS driver's a fan of mine, and I've gotten to know him real well, and they treat us very well.
Yeah.
So there's no problems.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. The only thing I've run into here, and this is not as remote as what you are, staffing's a bitch. So
yes.
Have you thought about that? We
are close enough to a big town, and where it's not a problem. We were close to a town that's about 20,000 people within 7 miles of us.
Oh, okay.
Where we live now, there's like 200 people, if that,
Yeah.
within a 6-mile radius. And there's nobody around. But within 10 miles, there's everything.
Yeah.
So you're out in the middle of nowhere, but you're within a distance really close to everything.
Yeah.
Everything you need. So, yeah, we're kind of in a perfect area, I think. Because I don't like the city at all. I never – listen, I like to be naked. I like to drink beer and like to be – I don't want to get arrested.
Yeah.
So I got to live out in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in a good spot right now.
Because you seem to be getting close to this inflection point that's going to be weird, right? Because you can work for a couple more years,
yes,
which you should do, right? Because the insurance benefits are that be
correct.
But you might need somebody before then, right? The simple answer is you're that person,
yes,
right? But then to need somebody before then becomes a weird thing because what role will they go into? Have you thought about?
We discussed a ton of stuff. There's so many ways we can go. We might hire more people for the business, right? I think we need an automatic press. Those are expensive. They're like $80,000. There's just so many things we could do. I don't know. I'm not the smart one in the relationship. My wife is, so she'll probably.
Well, there's another option too of just abandoning that and go fulfillment. Have a company.
I would never do that.
Okay.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, that's why I'm putting it out there because I didn't even know that was an option.
No, I know that a lot of companies do that, and everything's made in-house. Everything pretty much is made by my wife. Everything is made with maybe beer stains on it, and maybe tears, right? But I think that's awesome. You know what I mean? You get it directly from us. Most companies, you don't have that. They're from fulfillment stuff. They're from a different company. It's just what do they call that? Shipped. I don't even know. What's that called? Ship. That's drop shipped and all that shit. No, we never do that. She makes that stuff and she works her ass off. And definitely, probably in the next year, we're gonna have to either hire more people or get an automatic press and all that kind of stuff. Right? But that's great. That means the business is good.
They're good things. It just become strategic decisions that you
have to make
I know
it's
there's only
tough.
so much capital.
Yeah, that's true. So, we're looking into everything. So, I'll keep being an idiot online, and we'll go from there. That's all I know. So,
are you going to expand it in the supplement line more?
Yes, man. I want to so bad, and there's so many ways, but the supplement market's like if you've never been in the supplement market, it's like a mafia, like a mob, right? Like they're all together. And I didn't know that until I got into it. Like you got to know people, right? I don't know supplement guys. I don't know shit. So I'm just some hillbilly out in the woods, right? Making a pre-workout with a good manufacturer. And they make other products that are very like recognizable. Like I don't know what they are, but they're big products, big time products.
Yeah.
Well, they all know all these people, and they got their, I don't even know what they call them. They said these distributors that are like, everybody knows everybody, but I don't know anybody. That's kind of the deal I'm in right now. So most of my sales go through my website, but all these other companies, they can know somebody, and they can immediately make, thousands and thousands of dollars in sales with a product that's shit, but they know people. So it's kind of hard, it's kind of rough waters. So I'm kind of learning that market now. So it's hard. But, I mean, we're doing good, but man, we could do so much better if I knew who we should know in that market. Yeah. Like if you get connected to somebody, they can get you in like 200 stores. Like immediately. Like, what? So it's kind of like that. That's I'm kind of at a sticking point now.
No, it's a bitch that I've seen.
Yeah.
A lot of people have.
Yeah, and I talk to other guys that kind of know the industry a little bit, and I can totally see that. I mean, they know everybody. It's all the same. They all deal the same. Well, I'm just going to start a new company, but I know all these motherfuckers, so look, I'm going to make all this money because I already know these people. Well, I don't know these people. Like I said before, I'm a hillbilly that lives out in a cornfield. Yeah. So we'll see what happens on the road.
Some stay just completely B2C, though. They don't go, to the companies and all the other stuff. They just keep it direct to consumer.
Yeah.
Which can keep it smaller, but it can keep it longer.
Well, yeah, we're definitely direct to consumer right now.
Yeah.
And we were in like 15 stores, but it's all mom and pop shops that know us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so companies, either gyms or supplement stores that know me, right? We're in them, like 15, 20 stores. But shit, man, if I knew the right connections, man, you can be in like 200 stores immediately. Be in a Walmart, you can be in anything. So it's all about connections, right? So we'll see what happens down the road.
Yeah.
Right.
Any other plans that you have?
Light myself on fire.
Well, I get that, but
I'm drinking 24 beers before noon.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking 12 beers at this podcast.
Mm-hmm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's almost there.
Jeez, I don't know. There's not much else. Well, obviously, benching 500 pounds by this summer in a meet, a sanctioned meet. Shit, I think that's it.
All right, then how do people find you?
HuckFinnBarbell.com. Or Huckfin Barbell anyway. I mean, anywhere is Huckfin Barbell.
Well, you also have a podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Because the reason I know this is because I went to huckfinnbarbell.com to
you
find
did?
your content, right?
Oh, shit.
That's
How'd the
content.
website look? We did a good website, new one.
It looked good.
It was good.
I could find what I was looking for.
My wife made that.
Yeah, I can find what I'm looking for.
She has no idea what she's doing.
That's kind of the case all the time.
Yeah, I know. We had a new website that just came out 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a fun experience. I'm sure that was a fucking treat.
I think it took her like 2 months to try to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a teacher, so she...
But I heard you had a podcast. I was
Yes.
looking for the podcast, but there's no way to the podcast
Oh,
on the fucking
shit.
website.
So let's get stupid. That's the podcast.
Exactly. So
The best podcast this side of the Mississippi River.
Yep. So I don't know how I actually found it, but I ended up finding it.
Would you listen to any of it?
Yeah.
What'd you
I
listen
listened
to?
the last two.
What you
You
want
know,
to
so I listened to the last one where you were talking about coming out here.
I did? What'd I say?
We didn't have an itinerary. You didn't know what was going on.
Oh, I didn't.
No, I know.
I had
know
no
that.
clue.
But that's me doing all that stuff. There's no
Yeah.
itinerary.
I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to stay.
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
But it's what I was trying to figure out was because I watched the podcast of you and Deepwater guy.
Oh, John Anderson.
Yeah.
I love John.
Oh yeah, and your volume, dude, it was like killing the fucking camera, right? It was like it was a Zoom thing or whatever it was. But
I was in my barn.
I'm like, oh my god, this guy's like a fucking wrestler. The whole entire time. Like, and they just like, and we need to figure out how to do this, man. He's going to be way up here,
way too
down
loud.
here. I'm like, he can't be like this all the time.
He is.
And then there was like the Mark Bell podcast. I went through that. I'm like, okay, he's kind
I was fucking. I was drunk then.
Oh well, yeah.
Well, I tore my pec tendon. I literally drank at least a 12-pack of beer, and I didn't think we were doing the podcast that day.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing it the next day. And like Silent Mike or whatever, one of his buddies goes, "Hey, we're gonna do the podcast now."
Yeah.
Because I had just tore my tendon and I was getting drunk.
Yeah.
I got over there. I'd already had a 12-pack in. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Then on your podcast, like, oh, okay, the guy's not always in this fucking big-time wrestler.
Yeah. Not always.
Yeah. So I would say check out his podcast. You know, there's a lot of them.
There is. We've been going for a couple years now.
152, I think.
Yeah. It's Let's Get Stupid podcast on
Yeah.
Wherever you find podcasts
Yeah.
at.
So, and other than that, thank you for coming. I'll let you do your exit because it's better than mine because I just say we're done. And so you can exit the podcast.
Well, I'm going to exit this podcast by saying you can find this T-shirt at HuckFinnBarbell.com. And you just got done listening to one crazy son of a bitch who just drank about 13 beers. I got 2 words for you. Okay, bye.
We're done.
So when your body lacks the ability to store and utilize the nutrition that you bring in, we have a problem. With diabetics, it can be a fatal problem, obviously. Not only does everybody eat different, everybody receives that nutrition differently. Your sensitivity to insulin is going to govern how well you receive those macros for it to do its job.